You said we was live. Wes, really good. Your player, partner player, Lush Uno. Back with another installment of Lush World News. We is fully activated, although Active is not with us yet. Apparently, he is maneuvering through the
traffic
freeway systems of the greater Los Angeles area. In the meantime, in between time, with me at all times, my geyser, that fully himself. You feel me? The African ace, my guy.
The big forehead. Yeah. Big forehead. Big distinguished African forehead. MJTV in the building, man. What's the deal? What's the good with the chat? How everybody feeling?
And making his debut on the Lush World platform, Mr. Pop-Up himself. Pop up to the pull out to the pop-up. My guy, Big Rick.
What up, what up?
Big Ricker.
Big Rick. Chilling right here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coming in with Lush World.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
Sit down with MJ. Thanks, bro.
I really hope
it.
I hope I don't regret this decision.
You know,
he's a wobbler. He's a wobbler.
Let's hope not.
Nah, no.
Never the intentions.
Nah, Rick is my man's.
Good people.
He's the capo of this entire operation. He's the Dun Dada over here. Him and Ralph, and of course we got Ralph Sinatra on the boards.
The wizard.
No, I'm here.
The producer.
The producer himself.
Ralph.
I do like to call myself the producer.
Yeah, Ralph the producer. Sinatra.
All of my constituents, I want to let y'all know our apologies for the delay with the live. Ran into a few switches in the broadcast scenario. Originally, we were going to be live with MJ's best friend, Poetic Flacco.
My boy.
Big Flocks.
But that is now tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
At 7 p.m.
Live.
And we
on this channel.
On this channel.
That's right.
On Lush World, baby.
Oh, yeah,
Good.
Tune in. I want to see what he's going to say about me.
If he's going to say anything.
But what if he doesn't say anything about you?
It would behoove him. Because, I mean, I'm hot on the market right now. Shout out to the big guys that are tuning into the little people right now.
Yeah, nah, like we'll see what it is. We'll see what it is. Obviously, and then Wednesday night we have a mental health pod. So
salute.
We going, a lot of people have been requesting those. We appreciate it. Drop some cocaine bot emojis in the chat. All my bot mafia, you already know. Drop the Chilean flag for Rick. Drop,
You know what I'm saying?
drop the running man for MJ. You feel me?
Hey, don't get me started.
But why the running man, Lush?
Because Africans are really good at marathons.
Hell yeah.
So it makes
and then
sense.
he's running, so it's like, there's a lot of similarities there. He could use it too, damn near. Now that I think about it, because he don't run. Never mind, he don't run.
I know I don't run. That's a fact.
Never mind.
Please, everybody, like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. You're gonna want to be tuned into this channel because in a week and a couple days we have the biggest interview of my career, damn near thus far, going up live on the channel. I can't say anything else, but it's about to go up.
Oh yeah, a lot of chess moves happening on the board, huh?
So technically speaking, it's about to go up, but literally speaking, it's about to go down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Man, it's about to be live, dog. I can't wait.
Can we get a clue? Can we get a hint?
I think that if you pay attention,
we've given enough.
Okay.
Like if you pay attention to what's going on in the world,
okay,
it'll kind of make sense, especially within the podcasting space, especially within the orbit that we all exist within. On top of that, my boy Active is pulling some strings to get some other big interviews as well. So
okay.
Yeah, some people from his section. So
salute.
Again, read between the lines and try to figure it out.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Someone that's been recently home.
Again,
someone who could it be?
Again, read between the lines.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
Hey, I did read between the lines.
Like I said,
it said teamwork makes the dream work.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
So make your feet work before I make them teeth hurt.
Oh.
Yeah. Watch out, baby girl. We appreciate all of y'all. Again, like, share, subscribe, post the links, comment. All my constituents in Lush World, we going crazy. If you want us to talk about something, hit us with them super chat donos. A lot of people have been saying I've been begging for it. You feel me? But hey, like TLC said, I ain't too proud to beg. We out here getting to the bag. We ain't getting the bag, we getting the bag. So don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry about a damn thing. I ain't gonna force y'all, but it is what it is. With that being said, it's been a lot of interesting stuff going on.
It's a lot going on.
A lot going on. Why don't we get these? You know, I really don't like doing the no jumper related topics, but let's just, you know, I saw on the list there's a couple no jumper related topics.
Yeah, man.
We'll knock those out before we get to the real news,
Right.
just so I can talk about how little I care about it. And but
Well, there seems to be a bit of trouble in paradise, but you know, it was public on Yuri's live stream, but apparently, shout out to Potlord, man. I know you were just over there at Biggest Bros. Shout out to you, man. And shout out to Biggest Bros. But it was Potlord's birthday over the weekend in Vegas, and it just looked like they had.
it was Yuri and Potlord's birthday. Yuri's birthday was the day before.
Oh, dope.
Potlord's, yeah.
Oh, dope. Okay, dope.
yeah.
Dope. Personally, you guys seen how Sharp came in? There's clips that just were put out today about Sharp having a conversation with Yuri. But me personally, I've always had an observation that maybe this relationship isn't gonna work just because of the intricacies and how. Think about the environment, right? You have a. You know, salute to his significant other who's an attractive woman. There's dope people. There's people richer, this, and that. And there's certain like insecurities you might see in Yuri, and this weekend, a lot of those things kind of like hit the surface, and it kind of was just messy to see that. Damn, it's all in our face now, you know. So, yeah, that was kind of iffy, and then Potlord and House Phone get into a fight, and you know, just
With other people.
other people, yeah.
Not each other.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so anytime that a relationship is existing in a public sphere, it's going to come under immense scrutiny. Several relationships of mine have existed since I've been in the public eye, within like the battle rap space and things like that. My ex-wife and I had a really public relationship that everybody was kind of aware of, and we worked together. Like when I'm in a relationship with somebody, like they're my partner,
right?
And we really go like it's important to have that separate space, and like that's something that my dad always impressed upon me. My parents have been married for over 50 years, over 55 years.
Salute.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, how does it? I can't
Definitely
keep
not
a relation.
allowing the world to have an opinion on your relationship.
Well, I can't keep a relationship going for more than 6 years. That's my record.
That's your max.
Yeah. So I probably am not the best person to give advice on things like that, although I can tell you what I've done wrong, and then you could use it as a frame of reference. However, what my dad always said is you need your own space. You need what he calls it is your own room. My dad's always like, you need your own room. You need something that's the public can't get into, that is just your space individually. So, and you know, like, hey, my mom's a beautiful woman. They've been in a relationship for all this time. Never really had any serious bumps in the road as far as them together. So, you know, I believe that. At the same time, looking at Yuri and Riley, they are madly in love. Madly in love. Like I've been around them outside of the context of any type of no jumper thing or any type of live stream, and I think they're gonna be together for a while. I feel like there's this energy.
Oh, with all due respect, I disagree.
I feel
I
you.
give you to the end of this year, based off the history and based off the things that happen at No Jumper and elsewhere. I don't see the dynamic working when you're insecure because of your significant other is attractive. Yo, bro, you're never going to be the richest man in the room.
So what kind of insecurities do you think he has, in your opinion?
For one, right, working over at No Jumper, you got people hitting on this woman who are in tax brackets that you dream of.
Okay.
And then you got their social media is booming, and then they say hi to your girl. There's insecurities. He even spoke about it on the show. There's always people hitting on her and this and that. So I don't see how this can positively, like, how do you move on from this? How do you tell someone who isn't historically had girls of this nature? Because if that's the case, then you're used to this. You're used to being treated this. I'm used to it. But I don't see how it could copaesthetically go for so long, knowing that this is at the back of his head.
I'll tell you this much, right? I know a few people who are insecure when it comes to their wives and girlfriends and significant others. And it's just funny because you can see the insecurity on a guy, and then you can see the girl bothered by her own man's insecurity. But in truth be told, that's somebody who can like see some shit like that. Me, personally, me being who I am, big chubby dude and everything, bro. I would never try to control a woman. I would never be jealous about who's DMing her. You know why? Because I'm sitting next to her. Okay? And that's the biggest thing. And she's showing me who's DMing her. You got me?
Right.
But then the biggest thing of all, homie, is that if you just let a girl do what she does, it'll show you if she's really for you, dog. If her actions when she's being uncontrolled are still about you, then you're the one, man. You know what I'm saying? But if she's about herself, and you're trying to control her, like let's see what you're looking at. There, you get what I'm saying?
Look, I've had a history of women that are significantly more attractive than I am.
Yep.
Like women that people will be like, oh, she's out of his league, but none of that matters.
Yeah.
You know, love doesn't know any boundaries, such as things that people can. What other people would consider conventionally attractive. Spirits find each other, they become one, and then that's it, you know?
Yeah.
All these women that were way out of my league, I'm the one that fucked up the relationship too. It was never them just being like, oh, you know what? What am I doing with this dude?
No.
He's like, oh my God, like I'm so much. No, it's never, that's
You
never the
already
case.
had their heart and you fucked it up.
Yeah, 1000% of the time. By cheating,
But did
by
they have
lying.
understanding? Like, did they know what kind of person you were?
They had, I think a lot of times women, and this isn't mutually exclusive to women, people in general fall in love with people's potential. I feel like women have more propensity to do this than men. Women, when a man sees a woman, he's like, oh, she's attractive. I like her vibe. I like the way she makes me feel.
Right.
A woman's like, oh, I could see him being something. I could mold him. Women like to. Women have this tendency to want to adopt a stray dog and raise him from the pound.
Yeah. But then also, when you talk about cheating, men cheat, with lust and passion, and when women cheat, it's because they're officially tapped out of the relationship.
Yeah, men cheat with their dicks, women cheat with their hearts.
Yep.
99, not always, but a large percentage, because women do cheat with lust as well.
Right.
And there's, again, these are crass generalizations. However, what I will say is, when a woman breaks up with you, she's been over the relationship for a long time already. So it's like, for me, after a relationship ends, it's oftentimes more difficult for me than it is her,
because she's
already been over it. She's healed.
She just found a way to tell you.
Yeah. She's done.
So she's scarred up.
Right.
I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
Because I was watching a few clips, and then they were like, oh, let's go get our card read or something like that. And then she goes, well, it's probably going to read we're done. And it dawned on me, like, yo, you got to think about it. They're in Vegas for your birthday. Yes, I get it, Yuri. You pay the bills. I understand that there's been something happened at No Jumper. The job isn't there anymore. So right now, it is super important for you to pay these bills. So live streaming is a must. But now you're in Las Vegas with your significant other, your woman. Now she wants a bit of attention, and this is evident during the videos. You can see it. And it bothers me because I'm a content creator too. I got to feed my family too. But in a sense, it's like in a relationship, this is what I do for a living that puts the roof over our head. But you're over here giving me this hostility and animosity because I'm giving my attention to the people who pay our bills.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, I did see one clip where he was getting into the whip with her, and there was two dudes, and he's like, sorry, bros, she's with me. Like, blah, 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 blah.
Screams. It's literally screams.
All, like, what I would do in that instance, because I've been there, you know what I mean? I just, like, wink at him and smile. Like, look at this.
Been there, done that.
Look what I got.
Right.
Look what I got.
Yeah.
I get it. Yes, she's bad. Look at her. My ex-wife was a model, right?
Hey, you seen that? You seen her get in the car with me, right? You know,
Right.
Like,
You don't do too much. It's used to it.
My ex-wife was a model, would post very provocative. Like, she wouldn't like have her tits out or ass out or nothing, but like she was sexy and would put that out online. I like that shit.
You didn't, hey, babe,
right.
cover up. Hey, why?
like
Babe, don't
that.
post that. Babe, don't post that. You never did none of that?
Fuck no. Never once in my life.
Yeah.
Not like, if
I
anything,
mean, you Lush One, of course. That's what
if
you
anything, turn it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like let the girls breathe. You know what I mean? Like that was my whole thing always. You know what I mean? Like I never.
Don't crowd their space. Let them have their personal life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like to me, like I like the idea of people being attracted to who I'm with, and I feel like that speaks highly of me. However, you know, all you got to do is slap her on the ass and get in the car. That's it. However, that's it.
It sounds good.
You'll look like a G.
Yeah, right.
You
But-
really will. But at the same time, you know, when alcohol's involved, a bunch of people are partying, the vibe's going to change. However, like, look, I'm going to tell you this. Riley is a solid person.
I can't even
She's
call
a really, really down-to-earth girl.
From what I've
I don't think she's like, she loves that fool.
Loyal.
For whatever it is,
She had plenty chances to go by now.
But the thing is this, like,
That's for sure.
she's never, like, from the first time I walked into that office, and I didn't realize that was Yuri's girl at first, and she was just working on the computer. I never once got any type of vibe from her or saw her give any vibe to anybody other than professionalism.
And that's
Right.
still not enough.
Just saying hi and by you know, walking by through the workplace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Being professional about it.
Yeah.
Not flirting, throwing ass around or nothing.
That's still not
Never.
enough.
Yeah.
If that was enough, then there wouldn't be turmoil.
Yeah, but man, look, that's the cost of having a pretty girl, though, bro. You know,
is.
motherfuckers gonna be looking at your girl, man.
That's why it's not. That's why I say
You know what I'm
personally, it
saying?
ain't-
So you got to look at it like you said. That's right. That's my girl, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me put the arm around her real quick. Like, that's part of having a pretty girl, bro. You know, she's gonna get the attention.
When there's but the thing, like, it's across the board. She's solid. There's no reason. Like, I never saw her flirt with a single person. You know what I mean? Like, or even give off that energy to anybody.
Yeah.
that she's available or anything in
Nah.
that sense. Right.
Nah,
I agree.
like, but I think that when there's so many people preying on the downfall of the relationship, it's just like it's an abyss of negativity. So many people want that relationship to fail. They're looking down on it, like, and it's really driven by jealousy.
Yeah.
People want, like, why is he with her? You know what I mean? Like,
Let me say this. I love Yuri. I love Riley. I've been following Yuri. He knows the comp. We've been, you know. But what I want to say is, it takes a very confident person to be with an attractive woman, right? And now Yuri's a dope person. I'd love to just smoke woods with him.
I think people could underestimate the amount of hoes Yuri can get.
No. I remember
I
one
think
time
so,
he
too.
posted like a bunch of bitches.
I think people
like that.
underestimate that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What if two opposites attract? But at some point, we too opposite. You goofy, jokey all the time. I might want to start getting older. I'm starting to want to get focused up. So that's where I see the differences. You see someone who's playful, outgoing, cheery, then live streaming and just being a fun personality. Then you have someone who's on the opposite end, probably isn't as outgoing and might want to differ from that. And it takes time for me to be with you to understand that, hey, maybe I want something different. And there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
She's pretty outgoing too, though.
There's outgoing and there's telling people I don't shower for weeks. And there's telling people I fucked an orange. At some point, as a woman, you want a man that stands on business. I'm not saying he doesn't stand on business. I'm saying, like, if you looking at your man, he say fuck oranges and shit, and you get it, he's jokey. But as a woman, you got to understand, you want to look over and want some confirmation in who you're with.
But what if they're just creating content?
The thing is, beyond that, like, him saying things like that is indicative of a certain type of confidence and not giving a fuckingness.
Yep.
And just literally, I'm myself. This is my life experience. I've gone through this. It might sound weird. I don't have any problem sharing the embarrassing
Because
aspects
he's
of my
that
life.
confident about
yeah,
himself.
he knows. It reminds me of myself in that aspect. Like, I'll say things about myself that a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I can't believe he said that. That's so embarrassing."
The vulnerability is beautiful.
The
I
vulnerability.
even told you the fact that you vulnerable in this space is dope. But what I'm trying to say, looking at it from a woman's perspective, someone who's been with a plethora of women in my lifetime, I can say that, yeah, I'm jokey, I'm laughy, but as a woman, if she wants to look over and have a firm man, don't want the jokey shit, is she wrong for that? That's my question.
But you're now saying what she wants.
Right.
You now like are
I'm going
asserting
off what I seen. Now, if I see, we're not gonna go get our tarot read because it's gonna end, I'm putting 2 and 2 in my head, and this is what public space is for.
Right.
I'm like, she's gonna say some shit like that when the niggas on live stream with the people who pay the bills. There's something going on. I've been in plenty of relationships. That's why I can speak confidently. For you to say that while this is running, and you can say shit, but your face is gonna tell it all.
Well, it goes both ways, right? Because people might be like, 'cause what you're saying essentially is, if you're saying this in a public space, you're going to be what's not when the cameras aren't rolling. There's way more crazy shit being said.
Thank you. Yeah.
However, the other side of that is, them cameras make people act different.
They do.
Honey, you got me on that. That's a good point.
So it's ultimately, I feel like.
That's a good point.
They put their relationship out there to be on the chopping block, which is they're playing a dangerous game.
Dangerous, especially with so much criticism around from where they come from, the group, like the following that follows that. There's so much criticism. You opening yourself up to it.
And people unfortunately, people really want to see it fail. I'm rooting for them. I really hope it lasts. I like them as a couple.
No, let me stop. Let me do this for conversation and content's sake. Now, for content's sake, there was a clip that was clipped up or whatever, and Yuri was apologizing to the fans or the fan said he wanted a solo stream. Now, let me ask you this: if this solo stream pushes or changes the trajectory of Harmonious, would you still want that relationship if the relationship is deterring them or deterring Yuri? Like, that's my kind of question. That's how I think. I'm like, okay, cool. But maybe if you get single and you're sitting here talking about, you're right, I should have had a solo stream. Is the relationship holding you back from the next step? What do we...
Look, money over everything, right? However, like Sonny in a Bronx Tale said, you get 3 good ones in your life. All right? 3 good ones, if you're lucky. I say hang on to that. Everything else will make sense.
Yeah.
I wish I put my relationship first.
But you're not hearing me though. I'm saying, you right. You got a good woman, hold on to it. But for your business, for what your life is set for, doing this, the IRL stream, the paying the bills, right? Now, if you're talking about you need to keep doing solo streams and you can't do this together, and maybe that's holding you back. So do you keep someone who's potentially, I'm not saying it is, maybe she could be the rock in this man's world, the anchor, right? But what I'm saying is, for you as a content creator, this is why I'm single and been single for 5 years, because if that takes away from your true craft, do you still say keep the solid, like keep that? That's what I'm trying to ask.
I'll keep the solid personally. As a 41-year-old that's lost some good ones, keep the solid. Everything else will figure itself out.
There's some.
I mean, Riley's great on her own. My bad to interrupt.
Oh, you good? There's some women, homie, that want to move in and help build the house, dog. And there's some women that'll take an Uber to the finish line to catch the winner. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
You got to be smart enough to catch that.
That's some game right there. That's some game. That's
me. Straight up, dog.
A lot of people might not understand, and understand the importance of that.
We can end it like this, not to interrupt. What do you think about what Sharp said?
What did Sharp say?
Sharp kind of, just to put it briefly, was like, maybe I need a break. Briefly. Like, not break up, but like y'all need a break from each other.
Yeah.
Have you had a break with your significant others, and did you feel like that affected the relationship positively, and same for yourself?
I would say that every time I asked to take a break, it's because I was already like not feeling the relationship, and it was a way of us taking a break and then her realizing that it wasn't going to be no more. But that was when I was young and immature.
Man, Taking a Break is track 1
To
on the
Break Up.
album called Breakup.
You never separated
feel
from
me?
someone, and then like they say, absence creates a whatever. it's
Absence
called.
makes the heart grow fonder.
That type
That
shit.
is track 1 on the album called Breakup.
All right, track number 2 is Out of Sight, Out of Mind.
And frankly, I'm not taking relationship advice from a pimp under any circumstance. Who literally, like, their whole entire view of women is completely different. You know what I mean?
That's 100%.
Taking a break from
No disrespect.
No disrespect,
But
that ain't disrespect.
fuck no, that's not who I'm listening to. Yeah, advice on how to like spit game at girls and this and that, sure. But relationship advice from a pimp,
Never.
I'm smooth.
I feel it. I just wanted
That's like taking like advice on not doing steroids from Sammy Sosa. Like it makes zero sense.
Well, I speak firmly on this for future up and coming content creators that might be dealing with this, that will deal with this. This is a potential scenario in your life. So this is why I'm asking for advice. I'm asking for different takes, just because, say for instance, you got someone coming up in the space, they got a significant other, they love the stream, they got these type of what would be the advice that you give the younger generation? That's my whole thing.
Here's the advice that I would give.
Because I'm the younger generation that needed the advice. So
Here's what I would give. Pray. Pray. Anything you put in front of God, you're gonna lose. Whether, and I'm not saying Christian God, Muslim God, whatever your religion is, make sure you're spiritually fit. If I'm not spiritually fit, I'm gonna lose everything. Relationships, career path, passion, whatever. It's out the window. Number one priority has to be
pray. That's 100.
being spiritually fit.
You know the great thing about prayers? They're free.
They are. That as well. That as well. Again, before we get into the news, that was a little no jumper universe segue to get things going. Anybody that's watching right now, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already.
Salute,
Drop some cocaine bot emojis.
Yeah.
Run it up.
Yeah.
Hit us with some super chats if you're feeling it, or there's something you want us to address. I think we looking a little light with the super chats right now. Run it up for the gang.
Drop
Come on.
that shit, man. Get your questions. You know what I'm saying?
The chats is going crazy. I'm loving it. We love the chat over here. Ralph's going
keeping it
crazy
active.
back there. We doing it up right now for y'all, man.
Yeah, we're just trying to pay some light bills. So you feel me? Let us know something. Let us know something.
Let us
I know
know.
it's a little bit late, so we appreciate each and every one of y'all in the building. It means a lot. With that being said, the two top dogs in the podcasting space,
Okay, now let me.
Gilly and Joe Budden.
Yeah, man.
It's looking slimy. Obviously the hip hop head in me wishes they would take this in a lyrical direction, because they are both great rappers.
Do you? Damn. Okay, let's start there. Gilly or Wallow lyrically?
Gilly or Joe Budden lyrically.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Gilly and Joe.
It's a lot closer than people realize. It's a lot closer than people realize. Joe Budden is a better lyricist than Gilly. I'll say that. Joe Budden is a better lyricist than
In
Gilly.
terms of spitting or writing?
Writing.
Okay.
He's a better writer than Gilly. Significantly better writer than Gilly.
Okay.
Gilly has a phenomenal flow. Super bouncy. He like literally like there's a reason why he was that Lil Wayne was his protege for a while. And like Lil Wayne molded a lot of his style from the Squad Up era, right after the Hot Boys, you know, right before around the time of 500 Degrees and the Carter one.
You could hear his
Gilly was you know, he's got that flawless Philly. Gilly going back to the Major Figures days. He's a great rapper. I'm a big fan of both of them as artists. Like Joe Budden, bar wise, definitely has it. Presence, energy, flow. Gilly got it. Career wise, as a rapper, and just catalog and output, Joe has it by a lot.
3 rounds, smack URL, hosting the battle. Who you giving? What's the round? What are you looking at?
Man, fuck that. I'm hosting the battle. But
Hey, okay. I don't know if you guys want to. Hey, but if one had to go, who would it be?
Oh, fuck.
say what?
If one had to go, who would it be?
If one
had to just like, it's either him or him, who would it be?
from the podcasting space or from the rapping?
The rap space.
It's weird because I feel like I prefer Gilly. However, Joe Budden's contributions to hip hop outweigh Gilly's. I feel like Joe, if like you remove Joe's catalog, going back to the Desert Storm mixtapes and all that, like that would be more of a void. Joe, but now in a battle, I also kind of want to give the edge to Joe. However, when we saw Joe Budden in that type of battle, he did not do well.
Well, he was going against someone who's a pioneer in this space, so that's kind of like
he's still like, and I know that was like, I think it really comes down to how sober Joe is.
Oh, you think drugs played a part in that?
Oh yeah, but drugs played a part.
Hollow was just in a different world.
He was, but
okay. Now, so all right, so we've got the music part down. That's debatable. I can't say who is who, but in this podcasting space, someone who's been in this space for over 4 to 5 years now, right? I can understand and see where both of them are coming from. Both justified, honestly. But if I would give the edge to someone, to either one of these two in the podcasting space, it would have to go to Joe Budden. But when you talk about business acumen, when you talk about what Gilly and Wallow were able to do in this space, is truly remarkable. Truly remarkable. Them being the highest paid podcasters as black men and owning their entire shit from head to toe. Now it brings me to the shot he took. He said, how can I beef with a nigga who don't, he took a shot along these lines, who don't got the ads in his shit. He's like, how can I even beef with a nigga who don't even got ads in his podcast? But what he probably didn't see on the opposite end of that, which is true. Imagine $1 million worth of games getting 6 figures per sponsor, right? And if you watch their show, you see every 10 to 5 minutes, do you swipe this on your they always doing their shit, right? Now, they might make a whole shit ton of money. They might do all this shit, sponsorship, all this shit. But I don't see, it doesn't take away anything from what Joe Budden has accomplished in this space, how so many people who are prominent figures in this space are cut from the cloth that Joe Budden has laid down. But it is sad to see that these two people who are prominent figures in podcasting are going back and forth. But Joe Budden is who he is. Gilly, I think he brought in the rap part of, he brought in rap to podcasting. It's almost like bringing street into podcasting. Joe's popping his shit. He's number one. He's this and that. He's this and but Gilly took it like in some rap and shit. Like, you can't really pop your shit in podcasting. I'm still a rapper at the end of the day. You could be number one. Nah, you ain't number one. You see what we got going on here.
Well, look, what it comes down to is really this to me. Joe, I feel like, is more talented. More talented as a rapper, more talented as a podcaster. Gilly, way cooler as a rapper, way cooler as a podcaster. It's if you're rolling down the street, slapping, like if Rick, you and your Impala, I know you slap old school anyway. You're not gonna be slapping no rap music, really. But if you were, it would be embarrassing to be slapping some Joe Budden in your
Impala, yeah.
Really, I mean, like, it doesn't seem cool hitting the block slapping Joe Budden, period. I like his music, but it's more like for when I'm by myself or I'm with other rap nerds and we're like dissecting some bars. Like, Gilly actually has some dope records just to slap. You know what I mean? Like, he got that. He got that Philly street shit, you know, from that era. But and I just feel like he's a much cooler person.
But who's had more important conversations in the space?
Joe.
Even with Gilly and Wallow talking with Young Thug, talking about a lot of artists before they passed away, having interviews like literally months to weeks right before they passed, giving them the game that they needed to hear.
No, you know what? That's a very good point.
So that's why I'm like, ooh, let's talk about conversation. But on the end of
Joe hasn't had those conversations. But what Joe has had, well, also, I mean, you know, Joe has, if you take it back to Everyday Struggle, he was in a lot of those conversations.
Yes. And the platform that you just came from, a lot of what Joe Budden has accomplished is in the cloth of No Jumper. From the introduction of topics, from the way things are happening, from the way the conversation is happening on No Jumper. If you look at Adam 22, even Adam 20. Shout out to Adam. I don't even want to bring it up, but you can see how much of an influence Joe Budden has. So you can't say the same for $1 million worth of game and the way that they podcast. I can't say that about so and so. I can't say that about different platforms. But when you talk about Joe Budden, I can say that his platform is a part of this platform. Is a part of this platform. You can see it. There's actual stats there, but in terms of the influence that $1 million worth of game has, obviously it literally is $1 million worth of game, but can you see it in other people's podcasts?
I feel like they both serve very different niches in the game. You know what I mean? $1 million worth of game and Drink Champs are dependent on guests. Not dependent on guests. I mean, Drink Champs is absolutely dependent on guests. Joe's podcast is not about guests.
Great point.
It never really has been. You know what I mean?
Great point.
So it's like a completely different thing. What I will say is this, again, so as far as them beefing, did Joe take the shot? Joe said something that...
Joe said, basically, I think it stems from Joe's #1 rant.
Right.
Which was warranted. Just granted, he's #1, literally.
But then when Charlemagne was on $1 million worth of game, they were clapping back and making the things like, shouts to EUC Vibes, $5, Big Lush, thanks for everything you've done pushing the battle scene forward. W, hope to collab with you one day when I get my talent up. Much love. And I saw a $20 dono from Francis once again.
Salute.
Baby girl.
Man, shout out.
Shouts to Jamaica. You already know the energy.
We
Yeah,
appreciate
we're
the
going
support.
crazy.
Make me feel like I'm doing something with my life.
Right?
Make me
We
feel like
appreciate each and every dono. Y'all don't know how far it goes. It means a lot.
It does.
Salute.
I mean, I have a question though, right? And coming from both of you have your own platforms already. You know, you have your channel going and you have Lush and, you know, you personalities. But my question is to both of you, it's like, what made you find your lane versus what made you find your lane? Like, and what would you, MJ, I think a lot of people want to know, what is your lane? What is your intent? Like, where's your like, if you were to put yourself in a category of like what type of content you want to create and you want to be known for at the end of the day when it's all said and done, what lane would you say that you're looking for?
It's a lane that a lot of people are in already. I just want to be the one from my culture, the one from my community. So 50 years from now, 100 years from now, that people will look and see that, damn, MJTV was the African who was existing in this space and who knocked down the doors for us to be able to do what we're doing, who's built relationships with people, who's built relationships with platforms. I want to be remembered as that. I think that what I'm doing is literally opening the doors for millions of young people that come from where I come from that didn't see this as an option, that thought that they were going to be strung off in the streets, gonna act like the big bros, the big homies, want to cat off and act like this shit's cool. I did this shit. If you know me, you know what's up with the drink. Shout out Billionaire Black, shout out everybody, right? You know what's up with whatever that happened when I was a teenager doing what I was doing. But fuck all of that shit. I'm here today sitting next to Lush with Big Rick and Ralph in a pop-up. I don't do no illegal shit. I changed my entire life and I gave myself to this shit here. And now I'm able to do things that I never thought I was able to do. People who are millionaires, people who have everything they've ever wanted in their life, have their eyes on me and what I'm trying to do. All because I set that foot down. I could have been in the streets selling a drink. I could be on Fig pushing bitches. I could do all of that. I know I'm an influence to my people.
I feel you, dog.
You feel me? So the fact that I'm right here is crazy. I was just watching this nigga right here 3-4 months ago. Like every day, I'm watching this shit every day, bro. I'm sitting right next to you, bro. This shit is fucking wicked.
I definitely believe in you, bro. I think you're gonna go far.
This shit is wicked.
It's important. You're a vital young voice that's not willing to compromise. You're gonna talk your shit, but you're also humble and open-minded and willing to learn. So I think you got a lot of the a lot of the ingredients and intangibles that are required for long-term success. Number one of which is the dedication, which you got the long way. So I think you're gonna go far, bro.
When you think of hunger in this space, I do think of MJ.
Yeah. MJ is very, very hungry, and he's consistent. Anytime I've asked you to pop up, you always slide through.
What you need,
You know
I'll
what
be
I mean?
there.
Like, so yeah.
Appreciate it.
And you come with some dope topics. Speaking of which, what else we got? Everybody in the building, like, share, subscribe, run it up. You feel me?
Man, the comments are slowing down though, man. Y'all pick up on the comments.
We got. I know it's late right now. We started very late. We
go in there and drop emojis or something. You know what I'm saying?
we kind of low as far as the viewers. Let's try to get it. Let's try to get them back up. Let's try to get more people in the building. I'm gonna make another tweet. You feel me? See if we could get more people to slide through. Again, we know it's late. Not trying to be super late like this usually, but we're glad that y'all are here. We value everybody that rocks with and supports us. And regardless, we gonna talk our shit. So
We in
what
the
else-
building, man.
what else we got on the agenda?
Let's talk it then.
What other stories we got?
WMJ. Shout out to you, RCG. Yeah, shout out to you, RCG.
Oh yeah.
What else we got, MJ?
Ah, shit, man. Let me run through the topics, man. But something else that I wanted to talk about is the fact that did you see the whole Chris Brown and Usher situation?
So Chris Brown stole on Usher, yeah?
Yeah, that shit. That whole sentence just is crazy, right?
Yeah.
That sentence is wild. But yeah, apparently that's what happened. And this is hosted by Usher, a birthday party that
Right.
hosted by Usher. But yeah, a lot of the
Do you think it's PTSD because Chris Brown got herpes from Rihanna and Usher's known for having herpes?
Yeah,
so he's
bro,
like, you know what?
The resentment.
Like, damn, Usher's got the original strain. He traced the origins. He did a 23-and-1 for his herpes, and it led back to Usher.
Nah, he just
Did he really?
caught me off guard.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's fucking wild, dog.
Nah. I think it was over comments made about Tiana Taylor. So
Love me some Tiana.
salute to her. But you know, obviously, I think Usher came in his defense, and Chris Brown is who Chris Brown is. And I know a lot of people would like to put the dance and stuff, the R&B singer, but here in California, he is
You're Fruitown reputable.
he is, yeah. I mean, he is who he is, right?
Yeah.
So I think that that kind of played a factor. Obviously, it's your birthday, so I think alcohol and other shit might be involved too. But just the fact that two R&B legends are at blows, and this party is hosted by the one that they're fighting by, is just, that shit's just crazy. Like, you think that's some clickbait ass shit, don't you?
Chris Brown beat the shit out of Usher, let's be real.
Oh, that's easy.
You know what he said? Yeah.
That's easy. Chris Brown was crumping on it, and you know about
The cocaine.
I see
for sure.
Chris Brown more as a scrapper and Usher more as a lover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think Chris Brown, you know, even though he's a little soft too, I think he's more scrappy and Usher's more like chill, and he just got like beat up. You know what I'm saying?
nah, Chris is lit.
He be playing with his nose.
Why?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what makes him scrappy. You know?
That fool be playing with his nose.
That's what makes him scrappy, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's going to, you know,
Nah.
that's going to turn you up. That's
So-
going to turn you up. But no, I really think this is a herpes related incident.
Oh, bro, for real?
Yeah. I think there's PTSD. And once he did the research and traced back where the herpes came from, he did you went on a herpes safari and he got to the bottom of it and he's seen.
Lush, you're my boy, bro. But what made you think of that scenario?
That's
all
what
the
caught me off,
scenarios
so I was like,
that played out.
He
It
put
could
on
have been
the,
fuck you, we throwing blows, homie. But all the scenarios that played out, you put up tracing back herpes.
the thought process was crazy.
Right. It's like he had it all fucking. That's artificial intelligence right there.
he put the damn safari hat, you know?
No, that's-
The little
Went on a hunt.
yeah. Crikey. Crikey.
Said he put
The
a
herpes
safari
hunter.
hat.
He went to, you feel me? He went to like he had the safari hat and a lab coat on, and he traced the origins of his herpes strain that he got from Rihanna, whose ass he beat subsequently when he got burnt with the herpes, and he realized that somewhere along the lines, this super strain of high grade herpes originated on the set of "Do You Wanna Be the One with the
You know the specific
Relationship
song
with
too.
You?"
That's
Yeah, bro, it was early Usher. Yeah, that's what I think happened.
Was it 8701 or whatever, that album?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where the herpes came from.
Oh shit! You see Young Boy go crazy?
Young Boy talking about he clapped 7 people.
He said
7 murders on a record.
What?
On a record. We need the Trap Lord Ross deep dive.
Oh no, we don't. Then we're gonna lose Young Boy again.
Yeah,
We're gonna lose Young Boy.
well, like here's the thing that people fail to realize about Young Boy.
Trap Lord Ross, get a hold of him. It's over, bro.
Yeah.
The whole 4K down.
Here's the thing. People forget that Young Boy literally beat a case where he admitted to shooting up someone's block with a chopper. He shot a block up with a chopper and is not doing time.
This nigga had God for a lawyer.
Did he have a case though? Like, did he really get charged for it?
Bro, he's from...
Or is he just talking about it?
Oh, no. He really got charged.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, that was a known thing. Like, he's been on house arrest for the majority of his career. The thing is this, you got to keep in mind. Louisiana, they have a very low value of human life.
Of course.
Like, people... You know, like if there's a certain like they don't pursue cold cases and things like that in places like Louisiana.
Definitely don't have the resources for sure.
The way they see it is they're killing each other. They're doing our job.
Once like it's been a certain amount of time and it's a very short, like a matter of months, like boom, we're not pursuing the case.
2-3 months, put the case down because they got so many more coming in.
Yeah, especially like places like Baton Rouge. It's janky out there,
Bro.
Can only imagine.
I come back from those states sometimes when I'm driving, and let me tell you something. When I see some of those hoods, I understand why the next 48 hours is always filming out there. You know, you got apartment complex, and then boom, miles and miles of ditch. You know.
Well, yeah, and
woods and forests and shit, just places to hide people, and even then they don't care. They're doing it broad daylight.
Swamplands with alligators.
Yeah, bro, throw a body in there, let the alligators catch you real quick. You know what I'm saying? And what the alligators don't eat,
they gonna eat it all.
Yeah.
They gonna bite through your damn bone.
That's
right.
wicked.
And the cold part is they
Imagine, fool, you getting disposed of by an alligator.
Bro, well, on top of that, you got like in New Orleans, for example, there's the Calliope projects, there's the Magnolia projects, there's
Infamous Magnolia project.
Yeah, both the Callio's infamous too. Like these are buildings that are, I don't know if they've been remodeled now, but as of a few years ago, these are the same buildings that have existed since like the 1930s.
Yeah, they're old buildings.
It's not like the projects out here, which are like modern buildings and things like that. Like,
they're old.
You're talking about literally damn near 100 years old.
Yep.
Like the generations of the generations of rats can trace their family tree back further than Usher's herpes strain.
Hell no.
Fucking Lush, dog.
He'll fuck with that shit.
Yeah. People talking about like the projects
Marcy
in New York,
project.
like Marcy, Queensbridge. They're not even like those look like the Ritz Carlton compared to the Callio.
The ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Worse than South Central.
What?
Bro, those.
You gotta understand, South Central wasn't even developed until the mid 20th century.
Right. Those states like have been developed with races and culture dating back to the 1700s.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
It's California, like the Western United States.
Yeah.
This literally like is the Wild West. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't developed till long after there are old buildings. Like the oldest building in Los Angeles is a building called Avila Adobe.
1890 something.
Yeah, Olvera Street. You could go there. I recommend people when they come to
La
LA.
Placita Olvera.
Yeah. When people like come to LA, they always want us to go to Hollywood and you know what I mean, like Disneyland and shit like that. Go to Olvera Street. Like that's like really where people. That's something that people should see.
It's like culture and tradition.
Yeah. That's
hell
like
yeah.
that's
and if you're hungry, you get a bomb ass churro there.
the food is
Or some
incredible.
good Mexican relleno, some food.
You'll get amazing.
It's authentic.
Yeah. We should damn near do a fucking IRL stream at Olvera Street.
Oh, that's a fact. Shit,
feel
there's
me?
culture and tradition there. Why not?
That would be really, really lit. I think that it's super overlooked. There's probably a lot of people that are from LA that have never been there before.
Shit, I've been here a couple years. I haven't
Placita
heard.
Olvera. Well, yeah, you know, they do good Cinco de Mayos, Dia de los Muertos events, you know, like anything that has to do Hispanic, they do like pop off on Hispanic holidays. So if you ever want a really good time to go, like the day of the Guadalupe, the Virgin, you know, December 12th, I think.
Bro, that's just cracking any day of the
You know,
week.
it's
though.
cracking any day of the
can go
week.
any
I'm
day,
just
yeah.
saying though that if you go down there during like Hispanic holidays,
It's lit.
Mexican holidays, you'll get the folklorico dancers and the mariachis and the Aztec people, you know, dancing and performing, and you'll get that. Any day of the week, it's cool to go there and chill. But if you really want the experience, go there like when it's a Mexican holiday.
I say that to say LA is a very new city. The whole Western United States is the least developed. It's way newer. Like you get a sense when you're in places like Boston, Philadelphia, you know, like those are really old cities in
Correct.
particular, you know. New York has it to a degreu.
Cape Town.
I mean, well, yeah. Once you leave the United States, it's Europe. Like Europe. I mean, obviously, you're talking about South Africa, but Europe has like you feel the history walking through the streets.
Right.
It just permeates. Through, you know what I mean?
What I think at the end of the day, what Lush is saying is the history of those projects. Like some of those buildings here, you know, we had money to build a city. Some of those cities are surviving cities. You understand what I'm saying? Those buildings are real talk. Like fucking, like he's saying, bro, they got rats bigger than your house cat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fuck that.
And they're
Rat
old
with
brick.
Usher's herpes.
Yeah, you don't got government assistant, you know, trying to fix their roofs and shit. And it's like, it damn near only there. It could be an abandoned apartment building and people are still living there. Type shit. You get what I'm saying? You'll look at it and think no one's ever living there. You got a full blown community in there.
Yeah, it's a sight to behold. Absolutely. And like a lot of the projects in Los Angeles have been, if you go to like where Active's from, the Jordan Downs, they remodeled most of it. It looks 100 times different than if you would have seen it 10 years ago. Like it's
They still haven't had that process in over there.
no, not like that. No, they haven't. And so what were you referring to as far as Young Boy going crazy? Because
Shit, he went crazy on Act. Shout out Big Act, but
he literally just said in a song, I'm responsible for 7 murders in my city. But so what happened with him and Ack?
yeah, he said apparently, you know, Act does this shit, social commentary. And they've had a good relationship. Ack has spoke on how he reached out and had a communication with him, but Ack came out and said, let me see, let me tell you the exact.
Pull it up.
Because it was kind of disrespectful, but he said, "You a pure fat hoe, who mouth gonna be the reason, richest op."
Interesting.
And then
Saeed, thank you for the $2.
Salute.
The $2 highlight. Lakers won 3 of the 7 razor thin 104 to 101. I'm sorry to all my Bay Area homeboys and homegirls, but y'all gotta sit the fuck down. The Lake Show is tap dancing on your souls right now, baby.
Lakers. Hey, I be loving the Laker parades though, dog. Downtown, they're fire, homie.
they got to win just for that.
I got a Klay Thompson's ankle pack in my in my vape.
Hey, shout out Jerry Vanderbilt, man. That nigga been doing his shit on Steph, locking his ass up. So, man, shout out to him.
Yeah. He really has. That's not an easy task.
That's so young. So shit, the Lakers, that shit look good.
With that being said, another two. Give me 5 words to go off the top. What does that mean?
Give him 5 words to go off the top. So I think this is the same guy that wants to flow in the chat.
Oh, okay.
He said, give him 5 words to go off the top. So
Okay.
I think that's hip hop related.
Okay. 5 words. Agua Fresca, Litco, Honey Pack, Pop Up, and MJ.
Honey Packers.
So Honey Pack, Agua Fresca, Litco, MJ, and Pop Up.
Let's see what he comes up with.
Speaking of honey packs, go to royaltyhoneyusa.com. All caps on the promo code LUSHUNO. 40% off for your sexual enhancement needs. It'll get you stiff as a board. It'll have you lasting long. After you bust, you'll be ready to go for round 2, 3, 4, 500. And if you're a lady, it'll turn your pool into an oasis.
Man, hey, I'll tell you something. That honey's bomb.
At work,
that
right?
shit fire, dog. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need it, but it was like I support the move, and I'm like, let me see what this shit's about. So here I am, fucking flipping on a honey pack. And I'm like, damn, it tastes like honey. Don't taste like any additives or nothing, right? Just straight smooth honey. I'm chilling doing my thing, homie, and I'm just like, the next day, I text you, I told you what's up. I was like, bro, them things work, homie. Like my fucking mind thinking like pills do this shit, right? Not honey. And I think that's a much more natural, organic way
1,000
to enhance your sexual health. And so from someone who's tried it, shout out to the Royal Honey brand. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Royalty Honey USA, baby. It's going
where
up.
it's at.
Shout out to my
Lush,
dog.
they're
Ray.
asking for the promo code again.
It's LUSHUNO, all capitals, LUSHUNO. What's the dirt? 550 said, I'm always coming through to show love. That's all this is, something light. Hey, might be something light to you, but that light bill goes a long way for the
Really
light
does.
bill.
Shout out, what's the
You feel
dirt?
me? Yeah.
What's third, man?
So, going crazy on academics.
Yeah, and then went crazy on Lil Durk, made comments about his significant other, India. But for someone who's been watching the space for a minute now, it looks like it's album time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of which, now that we're on the topics of music, Billboard is reintroducing bundles.
Really?
Yes, June 31st.
Okay, so let's explain the significance of this.
Yes.
So what bundles were is oftentimes in order to boost record sales, what artists would do and labels would do is offer something like limited edition merch run. Mm-hmm. It could be either not just physical units, but it would be like a t-shirt,
a hoodie,
or a hoodie, something like that. And they were counting them towards album sales, although people at a certain point, Billboard decided that this,
I get what you're saying.
that this wasn't fair because people weren't doing it to purchase the actual music. They were doing it. It was like a little hack.
So you're getting
to boost your
credit
sales
on numbers to boost your sales for sales of merchandise.
Correct.
Right.
Because you get a download link, right? So you buy the hoodie, and then you just want the hoodie, but then you also get a download link for the album as well. So basically, but why would they bring it back?
Well, and people were doing things like
Nav was a beast with it.
Nav was but there would be like collabs with different brands, like V-Lone, I think was doing it.
Yeah,
I think Off-White did it a few times.
Absolutely.
With different. Was it did Juice World do one? I want to say.
I believe so. And then you have Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke did one, and
Rest in peace.
right, R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Juice WRLD.
R.I.P. to Juice World as well.
Both of them.
And they wound up basically. People like these albums which weren't getting traction outside of that were all of a sudden charting higher. Why did they bring it back? As another way to incentivize people actually putting out music, because music right now is in a super downward trend overall. And people are looking outside of the context of even attempting to chart on Billboard and doing Patreon type things as far as like, hey, if you like direct to consumer, artist direct to consumer, sites like Bandcamp and things like that. And people were artists were leaning into that more. So it's kind of a good way to bring the attention back on the recording industry of America.
Wow.
Not
What
just
do you
music,
think
but
the downfall is right now?
not just music, but music being released for the masses.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the downfall?
That you're saying like music is at an all-time low.
Well, I feel like right now it's oversaturation.
So you feel like they've made it too easy. I feel like they've made it too easy for anybody to just put themselves out there. As to back in the day, you had to grind and work. Like as a kid going to Venice Beach, people were like, yo, check my promo out. And then you take the CD and you owe them $10 type shit, right? And so the way they built promo before, like people who had to go out and grind and trunk sales and stuff like that, cassettes, mixtapes, CDs, versus today, you just upload a YouTube channel and you're an independent artist. You know, some people do well that way and some people don't, but I think they made it too easy. The industry itself has kind of crippled it. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, prosumer, there's a few things, right? There's the availability and affordability of prosumer audio recording equipment to the point where even now that's evolved beyond that to
Not a phone.
out of a phone. I could go download a beat right now. I could record on my phone. I could I could go on Fiverr and find a little mastering service, whatever, and then upload it directly to DistroKid, all within 24 hours.
For $100.
Less.
Fun fact: Lil Tyler, viral artist that's going up right now, made Law and Order off of BandLab.
Very, very common. Very common.
All right, I'm capping. I don't know if it's Law and Order, but he's one of his popping ass songs right now is off BandLab. He showed his whole process too. I was like, holy fuck.
So you're right. There used to be, in order to actually record music, it required way more of an investment. It required way more thought put into it. It required way more effort put into it. Now it's just like anybody can get music recorded and put out very
let's
easily.
think about what that really means. Man, I got signed to Atlantic Records. I got $1 million deal. This guy just uploaded YouTube videos and he's banging out 250,000 a month type shit.
Well,
and so what does it mean to be signed to a big label today? You know, when you have the liberty of just uploading, like you said, from your phone, and you're just like, so I think it is taking away from the big labels.
Well, here's the thing. Right now, there's no more artist development. The concept of an A&R is pretty much out the window.
Oh, they've gotten rid of that whole department.
Yeah. That is very antiquated at this point. In order to determine if an artist is worth signing, you pretty much have to garner an independent
Station.
DIY following. And at a certain point, once artists realize, hey, what do I even need the major label system for? Then it kind of like that whole system is becoming antiquated. So they need to kind of meet artists halfway to a certain extent. And that's why you're seeing things like these bundles popping back up into the conversation.
The marketing strategy.
But it is overall the number one issue is oversaturation. People don't know when music's coming out.
Oh, AI is going to help that.
And there's no centralized place. Like, we don't have MTV anymore playing music videos. I think there is a music video. There's one MTV station on cable that plays music, but it's like, that's it. We don't have, like, people aren't looking to World Star to see what's going on.
It's more of like
people aren't looking to
playlisting.
Playlisting is it. And also that's very disposable. You know what I mean? And even then, playlists some people might go to Rap Caviar to see what's cracking. That's all directly being fed by the major labels. But really, what's the point? I could go play around on Spotify for a couple hours, find a bunch of songs I like, make my own playlist. Boom.
Right.
I'm controlling. I have 100% control.
No longer are the days where you walk into the warehouse or Blockbuster Music or something like that and you're buying a CD. Or you don't buy sticks no more either, like USB, or you get what I'm saying? Like now you're right. You just, hey, I want to listen to the song. You don't even need the whole CD no more. You could just go to YouTube, Spotify, any app, find your song, play it, and then you're good.
Yeah. So it's a dark time for the industry. They're definitely they're needing to They've been in a transitional period for a while, trying to get shit straight, and it's not easy for them.
Big time artists make big time plays.
It is funny though. I will say this: after the damn Laker game ended, we got another 20 viewers. So
Hey man, shout out to y'all, man.
I think we got like 69 right now. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Everybody that's just popping up, you feel me? Share, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Run up some cocaine bots in the damn chat.
Drop them.
Shout out to official Ralph Sinatra in the back producing the show.
Shouts to producer Ralphie. You feel me?
Sirski.
The other plug. And then and on top of that, let's get some super chat dono so we can continue
Run it up, man.
pay the bills.
You know what I'm saying?
In this motherfucker.
Run it up. Just do what you do. Have fun.
You already know the energy. We up here, man. We up in the score. So, what else we got? What other stories we got? What we looking at?
It is damn track going nuts. They got the bots going there. Yeah.
Come on. MJ, I'm gonna look at what else you got. Diddy and Jermaine Dupri are set to square off in a verses after it was confirmed via Instagram.
Ooh, I mean, shit, y'all probably obviously live more throughout their music than I did, but I'm gonna just go off social media. Diddy got it.
I understand why they made that matchup.
But with the hits, what can you tell me?
And I don't want to take away anything from Jermaine Dupri's
JD a beast.
Illustrious, prestigious career. With let's look at Jermaine Dupri for a second. Jermaine Dupri goes back, like he actually was lit before Diddy. Yeah, because Crisscross, that goes back to Crisscross.
Oh yeah, he was.
You know what I mean? So for sure, like, if you're looking, first of all, I love the producer verses. I think this is a great one. Diddy has a significant edge, but we don't want to count out some of them JD hits.
Why is that? Like, people count JD out.
Well, he got Crisscross. I mean, he got Da Brat. He got Bow Wow. He's produced some big records for Jay-Z. Like in a Ferrari, a Jaguar, switching 4 lanes. He produced some big records
with JD though, dog. Produced some smooth music. You know what I'm saying?
Big records for Snoop Dogg. Get down on it.
They make it seem like Diddy gonna wash him.
I mean, he is. I feel like,
I'm saying, that's what I was wondering. Like,
Diddy has a significant edge. He lasted the duration for the majority of the duration of JD's success, and then
even surpassed.
Because Diddy's solo career has like a case against JD. When you're just looking at Diddy's records, from No Way Out to, you know what I mean, Last Night, all the way, like spanning well over a decade. You know what I mean? Well over a decade of just Diddy solo material. But then let's look at, he's got Biggie.
That's where I was introduced
iconic
to Diddy. So
iconic
Biggie, The Lox, Mary J. Blige, Mace. I mean, bruh.
He has the
Mace
Diddy dance.
It's getting dark already.
Yeah, dog. Like, I mean, look, that's the question though, right? There's good and there's great. You understand what I'm saying? Both can be perceived as, good, but when you really stop and break it down, it's like, why do you see P. Diddy higher than you see JD? Because he's portrayed as great. Like, he's produced legends. JD's produced artists that are here and, they're there, but like when you think of hip hop, you start talking about artists, and then some of those artists belong to his. That's his, like.
I mean, you could literally just take.
Dub.
You could take Diddy's run as a producer from 1994 to 1997, and it pretty much trumps damn near all of Jermaine Dupri's career.
Are either one of them responsible for a sound?
Okay. Great question. And the short answer is yes. All right. Now, this is something that's really overlooked, and I think I'm glad that you brought this up. Both of their sounds. So first of all, let me just dissect that a little further. Diddy introduced, or rather popularized, sampling really commercial pop records and just reinterpolating them as hip hop songs that have been done before. I mean, that goes back to fucking that goes back to Sugar Hill Gang. You know, it's nothing new. However, the way that he did it, you know, with Juicy, Mo Money, Mo Problems, them type of records,
right,
where you just sample a popular song, flip the hook, or he'll even do things like on the song Player Hater, where he'll take David Bowie Let's Dance and then the been around the world and now and he'll flip the chorus for one song into a different record and the beat of a different song and like make something new. So that's really what the whole jiggy sound.
It's almost like urbanizing pop.
It is urbanizing pop. Very well said.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Remember his show Making the Band?
Yeah, he had Making the Band. I mean, Jermaine Dupri had a very similar. Jermaine Dupri had a very similar show. He had multiple shows of like what's the upcoming kid rapper show he had?
He had something similar.
Yeah, he did. He had a whole thing.
I mean, about finding. So
and he had a whole show about like finding the next kid. That's where Lotto was from. Lotto came from that show.
No, was she from that thread?
Yeah, she was on that show. She won that show.
No,
her name was Miss Mulatto on that show. $5 from Saeed. Come on. Lush speak on Mozzie getting out early. Boosie going in for the same thing. Dago County jail, but on bail. Smack said it's going to be a DA reject. We will dissect both of those. I'm excited about.
Get to that.
I'm excited though about this. We gonna keep dissecting this Diddy thing. And for whoever said it, you only remember Chopper. Look up E-Ness. E-Ness is one of the best rappers to this day. Incredible rapper, and he was on Making the Band. He's a battle rapper, very successful, bar for bar, flow for flow. Not too many people seeing Philly's own E-Ness.
His freestyles are crazy, man.
He is, yeah.
His freestyles are crazy.
Absolutely crazy. His freestyle.
His whole swagger.
Super underrated.
Yeah, shout out.
That Boozy got a murder charge.
Yeah, we gonna dissect that, but like I like this topic right here.
So he went from urbanizing pop.
He went from urbanizing pop, but both of them, both Diddy. And so really like what Diddy did is he invented the whole jiggy wave, which wound up going into the early 2000s. Like
that was actually like a whole club scene too across the world.
That's what you wind up seeing with the Neptunes, what you wind up seeing like Fabulous rapping over with the Rick Rock beats and all that. That's all like jiggy club music. Cassidy and the whole Swiss Beats wave and all that. Diddy is like the father of that. You know what I mean? He's a hugely influential figure. JD and Diddy both took a lot from the West Coast. And I think that's very, very overlooked. If you look at
but what was JD? Okay, like you perfectly broke down Diddy's influence, but what was JD's like influence?
JD was the first. JD was the first super producer from Atlanta. So just like him bringing so much, with the exception of with Dungeon Family, Outkast and Goody Mob,
he didn't have nothing to do with those.
He had nothing to do with those groups. He like brought a respectable hit-making consistency to Atlanta.
So he legitimized it.
He did. He further legitimized
but he didn't necessarily
big records in Atlanta. And his aesthetic was more...
Yes.
Like the aesthetic that he did was less... Because you got to think about this. Prior to Outkast, Goody Mob, and Jermaine Dupri... Music in the South was like booty shake, high tempo. A lot of it was influenced from Miami. You're seeing Poison Clan, Two Live Crew, things like that. Kilo Ali from ATL. There was not that much like just regular tempoed, straightforward rap records. He was even like, you were seeing like 69 Boys and you know what I mean, like Tootsie Roll and Rump Shaker, all those type of records.
So were popping for slowing it down,
making
that
like
BPM lower,
like legitimate rap records in Atlanta, but still in a pop sense, because although they wound up crossing over to a pop audience, that was never really the intention for groups like Outkast, who Outkast really are aliens. They're ATL.
They're anomalies.
They're anomalies. You got to put them in their own category. You can't compare them them to anybody else.
You see Andre in Lamert Park taking walks, man. Shout out to Andre 3000.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's fire.
Shout out to Faded Fools for mentioning Quad City DJs. Exactly. That's the kind of shit you were seeing
Salute.
out there in Atlanta and in the South in general at that time. Now they both had a really, really understated West Coast influence that people need to talk about a lot more. Look at the records that Jermaine Dupri was producing. Look at the records he did for Da Brat. Look at like so funkified. And who's that making that funky noise? It's the Brat Tat Tat
That's that classic
back
shit.
on that ass.
Those are the West Coast influence.
They sound like West Coast records.
Yes.
You know what I mean? B-side by Da Brat and Notorious B.I.G. sounds like a West Coast record. You know what I mean? All those records are very, very Cali influenced. And I think that at that time in 1994, everyone kind of wanted to sound like Cali. And that's why Wu-Tang, Nas, and Mobb Deep reclaiming the New York sound was so powerful and making it grimy and taking what Cool G Rap had started and putting the streets of New York on blast. But Cool G Rap and Onyx and all them were kind of getting ushered out, and they took it to the next level because everybody was going west. Even look at Master Ace sitting on Chrome. Look at Master Ace, INC Ride. Those are West Coast records from a rapper from Brooklyn. Look at
But that's
even Diddy produced. Let's name another Diddy produced the Method Man and Mary J. All I Need remix. Boom. You feel me? Like
So-
very West Coast record.
who
Biggie Smalls first single or first hit. Big Papa, West Coast sounding record.
Big Papa.
Going back to Cali, West Coast sounding record.
Back-
Coming, you know. What do you want to say, Rick?
So who do you think was the West Coast influencer on the East Coast?
It was obvious.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was
where-
100%. It was 100% Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
And just hands down, you think that so obviously, like, dudes in New York, you know, they grew up in, you know, the metros and the trains and stuff, rapping and, you know, beatboxing and doing their thing on the blocks and, you know, had their little groups, and that's how they came about trapping. But then we were doing that on the West Coast too. So you have two different pioneers of East Coast, West Coast. And so to say that Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg had the influence on the East Coast, like, it's crazy when you say that, because now thinking about a Dre beat or a Snoop Dogg beat, when you hear I Like It When You Call Me Big Papa, sounds like some shit that would be
100%.
out here on the West
People
Coast.
don't talk about that shit.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's cool if you
Even
want to
records
call
like
it East
Missing
Coast.
You sounds like a damn West Coast record.
Right, but it's the West. Homie, that influenced it. I see what you're saying, yeah.
Like KRS-One so eloquently stated, the East created it, the West decorated it, you know?
I mean, the West takes a lot from the East now, in current day now, though.
The West takes a lot from the East right now.
Yeah, now if you look at, I know they're sister cities, but if you look at up north, right, the Detroit sound.
Detroit's not the East, though. That's the Midwest.
Oh, is that? Okay.
Yeah, Detroit is the Midwest.
I ain't been past Arizona, so.
Yeah, no, but you're right. Like the West, and we talked about that in great detail. The whole
Right,
Detroit West Coast connection, and yeah, absolutely. But New York is not influencing LA currently.
Let me-
like it has in the
Yeah, you're right.
And I think what maybe you meant was, like, you're hearing a lot of the music from the East Coast coming out today, right? Mm-hmm. But when you know, me as an old school person that likes to watch or listen hip hop from, you know, Snoop and Dre, West Coast stuff, they have to keep songs coming out to keep themselves relevant. But the minute they stop, it's who are you? Like, what happened? And when you hear, like, I think Dre said it once, right? I drop one album every 10 years and still go platinum.
He did say that thing.
Homie, that's a fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? That's some real shit. Because some of these fools, if they stop for 10 years, you see it now. You see some of them, even West Coast people who stop for 10 years now trying to come back after addiction and this and that. And it's like, okay, you were so-and-so back then, but today, bro, like, we got a whole nother sound out here.
Well, people's also attention spans are way
Shorter.
Yeah, even like Drake could come back and do something now, we might pay attention, but even for him, it would be difficult. Like at this point, like
The climate's changed.
the climate has changed so drastically. I remember even like when Dre put out like Kush, it was a cool record, but it didn't hit the same. You know what I mean? Like
As keep the heads ringing.
Oh yeah, I mean like times changed significantly. even in that interim and looking at it now. But like going back right now, if Diddy and Jermaine Dupri were both to drop new records, Diddy's gonna do better. Right. He's still in the conversation. He's still fucking the popular bitches and all that.
His
dicking down Young Miami and all that. Like
revolt.
He got J-Lo under his belt, homie.
Yeah, it's not really much of a. There's not much of a debate there in my eyes.
Oh, JD slayed some too though. JD got some cool pieces on him, on his belt.
JD's got some Pokemons in his collection.
He got some.
Best believe, you feel me? Best believe. However, you know, it's a little bit different. That there's levels of this shit.
Yeah, for sure. Diddy.
So let's talk about Mozzie. Speaking of rappers getting let out, Mozzie just got out after 10 months. I feel like he's gonna hit the ground running right now.
It's gonna be CMG summer. I'm gonna say it now.
That is a crazy. They have one of the most interesting just rosters in all of rap music. It's very diverse.
Yeah. Seriously. Now, which brings me to this question. Has he surpassed QC?
They're currently more relevant than QC.
In terms of bringing artists forth, right?
Well, if you look at the overall, I mean, like, no, QC overall, like, because, like...
Skip it a flip, we're going back.
Yeah, I mean, like, really...
Jose Guap.
Because, like... A lot of the people that QC helped popularize aren't really a part of QC. Like Pee Wee Longway is not a part of QC.
Oh, so they still have to be a part.
Or they don't still have to. I don't think Pee Wee Longway was ever a part of QC.
Right,
you know what I mean? Right. And really, he's more like Young Thug. Like that was really like that's like YSL. You know what I mean? And, but he had his own thing, MPA. You know, really, at the end of the day, they're all children of Gucci. They're all children of Gucci.
Gotti too.
Not Gotti. Okay. Gotti's from a whole other city.
Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about the whole Atlanta QC.
The whole,
yeah,
like,
sure,
QC and all them. You know
I mean, like, isn't P about the same age of Gucci?
It's still though, like Gucci literally brought every rapper
in terms of the musical side
that's popping in Atlanta. They all came up under Gucci or were co-signed by Gucci. There's none of them from 21 to Waka, to Thug, to Migos, to, you know, OJ. Like you could, like I could name names for a half hour straight.
Does that make Gotti's accomplishment even much more special, being that he didn't have a figure like Gucci to facilitate all of these things?
To me, like Gotti is 100% more relevant than what QC's got going on. Like,
let's say at the height. You got Migos and you got Baby going nuts.
No, Migos at the height and Baby
Yachty killing.
Yeah, no, they still have not come close to that level yet.
Okay.
But what we got over there, the CMG got
EST.
Gotti, got ESCG, Black Youngster,
Bag.
Moneybag Yo, got 42 Doug and Mozzie. I mean, that's quite.
That's why I asked that. That's why I framed that question, because I'm like, that's a crazy versus.
Yeah, I think it'd be difficult to. I mean, like really, just like the Migos run was so crazy. That's 230. That 2012 to 2020 run that they had is really fucking gold.
You're right, but let's say Bag and Mozzie.
And then as soon as Migos started losing steam, Lil Baby took off. So that catalog is crazy. Look, I'm a bigger fan of Mozzie than I am most of those artists, but I'm curious. I want to see Mozzie on some records that resonate on a national level. It's dope to me that he even is in that conversation, being a boss himself. You know what I mean? He's got the Mozzie movement, and he humbled himself to put on a CMG chain, which a lot of people criticize, but I feel like Mozzie deserves that national spotlight. He deserves to be on those records that nationally chart, not just, you know, California records.
A little hit here and there.
He did, and that's the machine that CMG has been able to incorporate in their foundation now. Because if you think about what ESTG and Moneybag have been able to do, they're popping on the East and the West.
Yeah,
they could fuck up the Chitlin circuit, they could fuck up East Coast, Midwest, and it could come here to LA and pop right now. Now, before having the CMG connection, Mozzie gonna rape LA, Cali, North, everywhere. West Coast. But then the minute you pass Utah, the minute you pass these states closer to the east or west, I mean closer to the Midwest or whatever, niggas ain't, it's not clicking no more.
Right.
So when you have that CMG movement behind you and you're able to hop on these same circuits and tours and be able to have these songs that been viral, now you just have a whole different audience. Hell yeah, that's a smart business move. He playing chess as he should.
Especially when you consider the last time club records from the West Coast were played on a national level was Mustard.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was like
Right.
Tyga. He's like one of the only people. Tyga, YG. You know what I mean? Like,
He's popularizing a whole different sound.
we don't, like, our records in the West Coast do not get national play like that. Our records don't resonate on a street or club level in most
Regions.
most sectors of the United States.
Yeah, no,
they just simply don't.
That's a bit. It goes crazy out here though, but
Goes crazy
I
out
feel
here.
you. I feel you 100% on that.
Where we are, like, it's so funny because LA used to be a city that was dictated the industry and was so, like, in tune with the record industry, and we had Snoop and Dre and then The Game and all these guys that were international stars. Now LA has become an extension of the Bay Area. We have our local folklore heroes, our dudes like Draco, R.I.P. You know what I mean? Like, long live the ruler, we know the truth. We have dudes like that who are, we look at Draco the way that the Bay looks at Mac Dre. You know what I mean? And the majority of the country, they might know who he is, but they're not up like
They
that.
don't revere him the way
No.
that citizens of LA revere
No,
Draco.
and it's even the same way with Nip. Now they do revere
Well, that's
Nip.
a debate,
Well, they revere Nip in other regions,
Right,
but
right.
it's more like for his contributions than it is its actual music.
Right.
Whereas we have always loved Nip's music out here. Like, we slap his
Do
music.
you think Nip got more famous after he died?
Of course he did. I mean, like, yeah, 1,000% he became more famous. He's somewhat. My parents know who Nipsey Hussle is.
Right.
Like, my parents were, my parents are 80 years old. And I remember when Nip died, we're like, oh, like, this guy, he seems like he was really important, Nipsey Hussle. You know what I mean? Like,
His mom is such a phenomenal person. Speaking of Nipsey, I met his mom while I do my grocery orders for Instacart and shit. I met his mom, had a
Amazing.
brief conversation with her, blew my mind away. Makes complete sense why Nip was who he was. His mom's such a strong, intelligent, powerful woman. So shout out to that whole family, man. Rest in
that's-
peace to the legend.
no, long live Nip. And that's also, they're big in the African community.
Yeah.
The Ethiopian and all that, Eritrean, like.
Bro, that's why I hit home. Look, bro, I was doing my little orders and shit, and at the time I didn't have my hat on, right? I'm working. So somebody walks past me and they're like, I love your hair, but like a few years ago I got diagnosed with alopecia or whatever, and I have this fucking hole in the middle of my head and shit, so I'm very insecure about it. And I'm not paying no mind. I have my phone in my hand, I'm doing orders, oh, that's this, I'm picking shit out. Somebody walks past me, oh, I love your hair color, I love your hair. I look up and I see this face and I'm paused. For some reason my body's just paused and I look up. I'm like, oh, thank you so much, I appreciate it. And then it didn't even hit me till she walked away. And then when she walked away, it dawned on me like, yo, that's... And then so I keep doing my little orders and shit, and then I catch her on another aisle and I say, are you who I think you are? With all due respect, I don't want to bother you or anything. She's like, no, not at all. Yes, I am probably who you're thinking about. Yes. And then I said, I'm so sorry for your loss. She said, no need to be sorry. There's no need to be sorry. He did exactly what he came here to do. I'm busting down. Tears is already coming down. Like, it broke me because I'm hurt. I'm saddened for him as a mother, right?
Wow.
I can feel that. I envision our mothers and shit. So I'm like, I'm sorry for your loss. She's saying, no need to be sorry. He did exactly what he needed to do. I said, whoa. And then she just prayed for me. But yeah, that was just a little Nipsey.
That's beautiful.
It is
Bro,
powerful.
Oh my God.
For a mom to be at peace.
Oh my God. That
You know what
type
I'm saying?
of
And know
power.
that your son, to say, don't be sorry, he came here to do what he had to do. Like,
Oh my God.
that's deep coming from a mom. That's a mom who was able, to somewhat heal and know her son's purpose in life was fulfilled. You know what I'm saying?
God.
Long live Armies. Come on, man.
Long live.
No, but yeah, back to the topic though, I'm really excited to see what Mozzie does now that he actually has a chance to cook up with them guys.
If we can leave the beef shit alone, I know that's such a hard thing to say when bodies have been dropped allegedly, but just imagine the connections and the shit. Like, if Mozzie works with like artists that you never think about, I think that's where it hits home, where you say that notoriety in terms of different markets and shit. I want to see Mozzie with different people.
Well, and here's the thing too. Keep this in mind. Sacramento is a really weird space when it comes to the gang culture. Like, they have, there's Bloods and Crips, Norteños, Southsiders, all that over there, right?
They turf bang.
And there's turf banging going on too. However, a lot of the sets that are up there, they only exist there. There's Garden Block Crips.
Right.
There's no Garden Block Crips anywhere else really in the United States. There might be a little pocket, but not really. You know, it's not like it's Rolling 60s or Hoovers or Grape Street or Inglewood Family or Bounty Hunters, gangs that are all across the country like that. Every Southside barrio in LA has hoods all across the country, and then like
people move out.
18th Street and MS are huge all across the country. Yeah, you know, international. But Mozzie's hood, you feel me? The Oak Park Bloods, Pyru or whatever.
Fourth Ave.
Yeah, the four. You feel me? They're nowhere else. So his funk with like CML and all those people and like Jack Block and all that, that's not going to affect him across the country really like that. He needs to stay the fuck out of Sacramento. Like, I remember him saying a few years back that he can't do shows in Sacramento, and Get the fuck out of there.
Mozzie, please get security. We love you, bro. You are the greatest when it comes to that struggle rap shit. We feel that shit. Blah, blah, blah.
Get your Chief Keef on.
Get a security, bro, because he got booked out here for that gun case.
Right. Now keep this in mind, too. You said blah, blah, blah. When he got out last time, the first thing he did was go to the studio and record blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah?
He hit the booth and he recorded straight out the fucking Pinta.
Oh, you know he was in that bit. Oh my God, Mozzie!
The first verse, so you know he's gonna come with a crazy first day out right now.
Making it.
Oh no, he's gonna be fire, and it's just a problem for. Oh man, it's gonna be a problem. He's gonna shake the space, which we need. We've been missing that in the space. Honestly, you can't have anyone fill in the space for a Mozzie right now. Like, no, we don't have no one else. Oh, this is a baby Moz. No. Nah, and he does his shit. There's a hell of niggas out here with Mozzie chains running around. Shout out to the whole Mozzie camp. He gives back to his community. Hey, shout out to Selly Rue. I see him at We Jamming. Good nigga.
I wish that him and Shooter Gang Coney would be cool again.
Ooh, let's get to that.
I fucks with Coney heavy.
I mean, if there isn't any smoke where there's things like of the other nature, or you know, that they probably can't talk on. If that hasn't happened, then yeah, I would love to see that, because Coney's development to where he's at right now,
great
like
rapper.
The music, the shit he's been putting out, I was like, damn. But me being such a fan of Mozzie and loving Mozzie, I was like, damn, I can't be really listening to this. But I know I'm just playing around being performative. But at the end of the day, I'm like, damn, well, how the fuck did it get to this? Like,
I was a big Shooter Gang.
Yeah,
they
like,
came out.
I really,
JoJo, Coney, all of them, they hard.
Yeah, they I think JoJo's locked up, right?
I believe so. But yeah, they hard.
Yeah, I mean, I never would have expected to see that fall out, honestly.
Run up that Shooter Gang JoJo song with Ralphie the Plug. I think it's called Chopsticks. That song is
run that up.
Crazy. Fool.
But yeah, Mozzie, it's no ceiling on that man.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go really far. Shouts to the Oak Park legend himself. My little brother Smokey and I went to Oak Park Market, got the Chinese food there.
That's fire.
Yeah, had to do it. Had to pay homage.
Was it bomb?
Time. It was like bomb in like the sense of it's a Chinese restaurant right in the hood with questionable cleanliness. You know what I mean? Like, but it was,
it's got a B or a C on the door. It's barely open.
They covered the motherfucking whatever that is.
Yeah.
But it's the culture. You have like the mom yelling at the son, like, you always messing up, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a vibe. That's where they shot the video with YG right in front of. So like,
gotta love it.
We had to slide through there and see what was good. And, you know, I like to commiserate with the culture. I got a lot of people up there in Sac, but yeah, it was you know, I really hope that we see his potential actualized and he's not just another regional super lyrical rapper that the streets love that doesn't really get to.
He breaks the barrier.
Because yeah, like you're right. He really talks that pain like crazy. And we gonna see our first day out real soon. Mark my words.
Oh, for sure.
Again, like, share, subscribe. Constituents of Lush World, run it the fuck up. You bitch. Hit me with some super chats.
Hey.
What the fuck is you doing?
But
Yeah,
did you say first day out?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I heard that.
Yeah, bitch.
We gonna have our first day out.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's,
We gonna have our
I
first day out.
just want people to know I'm listening.
Thank you, Rick.
You feel me?
Appreciate that. Are you a Mozzie fan?
You know what? I heard one of my boys, man. You know, I seen him post a Mozzie video, a song on one of his videos on Instagram one time. It was called "Mama, We Made It," and it made me go back and listen to him. So I didn't really know about Mozzie until the homie was playing it, and you know, and I know he wasn't playing it for no reason because I grew up with this cat. You know, he's an NFL Super Bowl 3-time, Super Bowl ring holder.
Your homie is?
Brandon Browner.
Okay.
Shout out to to Brandon. He's busted right now. You know what I'm saying? He did a little
He
something.
went to high school with you or what?
Yeah.
Brandon
we went to the
Browner?
same high school. So yeah, he's from Pacoima, California, dog.
The safety for Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Dope, man.
Yeah, so shout out to my boy Brandon, man, holding it down in there, man. Keep your head up and keep strong. But when he played that song, Mama, We Made It, before he got busted, he was rolling around in a Maserati, you know what I'm saying? And I would see it in the car, and when I heard the song, I was like, damn, that shit smacks, homie. So, you can hit the little song on Instagram and go listen to the song, what song it is. So I go look it up, and I was like, damn. When I heard that song, that song made me a fan. And then I started getting into his music, listening to it a little more, and I'm like, damn, this real life struggle shit right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you made it.
You heard the substance.
Man, I don't know. I have not heard the song.
No, he's saying you heard the substance in his music.
Oh, okay,
Like it
okay.
caught
I thought the
your
song.
ear.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't just
off
like-
top, bro. Because I listen to different genres of
Right,
music,
right.
but for me to listen to a hip hop, it's got to be something I can relate to. I can't relate to all that. It sounds like you're crying when you're leaned out on. Because I don't do codeine and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
So when I heard his lyrics, I was like, damn, bro. Like, that's just tight. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes by looking up to the people that you look up to that are in a famous spotlight or space, watching their posts and shit, they have no idea how much people actually are influenced by their lifestyle. And so when I hear my boy smacking, homie, I'm like, yeah, that's right, dog. That's a hard ass song. It just easily influenced. Just like that, I became a fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta respect it.
Absolutely. I feel like he resonates. Anybody that's really been through it, if you've been through it and or you have an appreciation for songwriting and lyricism, Mozzie.
You gotta
is gonna
love
hit it.
the development from Lil Timothy, Dirty Timothy.
They don't know about Lil Tim.
Come on, I'm a real Mozzie fan. Lil Dirty Timothy is on the corner store who can't be allowed back in the corner store for stealing. They got a picture of Dirty Timothy, Lil Dirty Tim. So the development of that's where he came from to where he is now with the girly faces, the beautiful family, the bust downs, the Mozzie camp. Nigga, if you know anything about a struggle being, man, that nigga's the truth in this shit, bro.
Most of us first heard Mozzie when he was literally just dissing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the
unfortunately.
truth, that
Going at it.
that record that wound up getting his homie chipped within a matter of hours.
Yeah, I did watch that documentary and what.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's the downfall of music, though. I mean, there's all the musics we listen to. You'd be shocked to know that there's subliminal messages that mean what you probably don't want to know. But, yeah, that's music, though, right?
Absolutely. Shout out to my boy Stro in the building. I see you, Playboy. My boy Leo in the building. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
But I don't want to sound desensitized. Rest in peace to anybody who passed away.
Nicole in the building. Asking about Rick.
No, she said, who is the guy with the glasses? The sunglasses or my glasses?
We gonna see. R.I.P. Briss as well, definitely.
Rest in peace, Tricky Dance Moves.
Yep. You know the vibes.
Rest in peace, Lil Ties, Lil TYS, man.
Yeah, that's another one.
Rest in peace. Damn, man. Sick how we could just go off the top.
So-
I was gonna say,
oh my bad.
Big Ralph, can you pull up the info about this Boosie arrest?
They said regular glasses.
She wants. So this is Big Rick, the owner of the pop up and a major constituent. He's a general in the Lush World Illuminati, and we going up.
Yeah.
We got up $2 from Master Pluto Uno. Keep grinding, fam, from Compton. I'm coming with. Hey, I appreciate that. You already know, man. Shouts to the CPT, all sides of the
Appreciate
city.
that, Ralph.
Hey, Boosie cold though, bro. Cause I was with ODM Slim about a month or two ago. We were in San Diego in that same hood shooting the hood vlog. I was shooting the hood vlog for ODM Slim, and now Boosie was on that same corner, same block with the same people. Like, you know, he really tapped into the streets, but you know, Boosie's Boosie. He's a gangster, like he said, all over the content. So you're gonna catch him with that.
And we really revere Boosie, Webby, and all, you know, like all the artists from Louisiana a great deal, because everybody in California, most black families in California have ties from the South, in particularly Louisiana and Mississippi, is for some reason. And I think really what happened was, after just a little bit of history, after World War II, there was in Oakland and LA, they changed city ordinances and allowed black people to become homeowners in these areas.
Influx?
That brought an influx of black people from the South, in particular Louisiana and Mississippi, to Oakland, and because a lot of them were getting into the longshoremen and shipping industry. So port towns like Oakland, which wound up booming at that time, which is predominantly white prior to that. And then you saw the same thing in LA, because a lot of people were moving out for those type of works. But, you know, we got the Port of Long Beach out here, San Pedro.
Makes sense now, because everyone out here, oh yeah, my family from here. I'm like, oh shit.
So that's why we
got neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Centuries old.
Yeah, absolutely. There's literally gangs in Los Angeles that are over 100 years old now.
Hell yeah.
Gangs like
older than some states and cities.
Gangs like White Fence and shit like that. There's
older.
I got homies, great grandparents that were repping gangs that are, if they're not the same exact hood that they were like the precursor hood to future gangs and shit. Like in West LA, people don't know West LA used to be like a lot more active, and a majority, like Santa Monica was a predominantly Chicano city and like Latino.
They got an old neighborhood that's really like
very old barrio.
It's old, but it's not really heard of like today. Like you don't really hear about it banging, but they're still like a pioneer.
And they still active. Shout out to the homies from Santa.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is like they're not like, you don't hear of them like an up and coming gang. Like when you hear about that neighborhood, it's already like they're decades in.
Yeah,
they've been putting in.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Like what's crazy is, so like that barrio used to be called Tomato Gang back in like the 1920s, because the north of the 10 freeway in Santa Monica was all tomato fields.
Okay, because I'm like, please make the correlation here.
Yeah, it was all tomatoes.
Oh,
crazy, right?
Damn, you could picture back it was really just all
tomato fields.
Yeah, Silmar, where I'm from, was all olive trees. Oh. It was known for it. You look back and, you know, into the early 30s, you know, 40s and stuff like that. It was just straight olive.
Fucking acres of that shit.
Over there, like in Elysian Village and shit, Elysian Valley over there, like right next to Echo Park, but like north of it, like where the LA River is, there's a hood over there that's been around for damn near 100 years called Frogtown. And Frogtown, they called that because they're literally the frogs from the fucking river. Yeah. Like there's a lot of history with the
neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah, the neighborhoods in LA. But yeah, like Stro said, Crenshaw District, a lot of black people moved there during that time and shit. But if you look at that, that's why in the hood people were slapping Webby, Boosie, No Limit, Trill Fam, Hot Boys, like they're from here. So like we revere, like in the hoods of South Central, people really look at Boosie like he's an icon
Gangster
from here.
guy.
He's like one of us type shit. Like fools revere him on a different level, especially in the projects. Like they love Boosie.
Oh, he was bailed out in less than a few hours.
So what the fuck happened?
Apparently he was. Oh yeah, my bad.
No, I got it, Doug. I found the a cool little article. So he
Put us up on game.
So he was stopped on Market Street near the 47th Street in Cholas View neighborhood, which is the 40s.
40, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the hood. Boosie was arrested on suspicion of being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition, carrying a concealed gun, and carrying a loaded firearm that was not registered to him, according to county arrest records. So he got popped with 2 guns. Also, another person in the car, 28-year-old male, was also arrested and accused of carrying a concealed firearm and carrying a loaded gun that was not registered to him either. So there was 4 guns in the car.
I think that's gonna.
It's a music video though. They're shooting a music video.
That sounds like it's going to be a DA reject. I don't really see that getting any legs.
Or somebody gonna have to take, not have to, but I think logically somebody would take that.
He's not going to wind up sitting down for that.
But no, ain't this California at the end of the day though? If it's in your possession, ain't that some shit out here, right?
It could be. He might get probation or some shit. Like
Back.
For a piece, for a felon?
Let me tell you something, Doug.
my homie's fighting the same case right now.
I was just gonna say, like back just a few years back, right? Like not more than 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers getting caught with a firearm, like convicted felon, it's a federal case. It should be. Mm-hmm. It's up to them. It's at their discretion. But if they pick it up, homie, you're talking convicted felon possession of a firearm. You're talking about no less than 10 years. They have a thing called like an ACCA. It's like something about some continuing criminal something association or whatever. Mm-hmm. Is that you're choosing to keep carrying a weapon after you've been charged with a felony the first time. They're breaking fools off 10, 15 years just for being in possession of a gun, bro, a felon in possession. Now I see motherfuckers, and this is why I can't commit crimes no more, dog, because now I see motherfuckers getting caught with a gun, homie, and they bailing out. Mm-hmm. And, you know, supposedly we got this, you know, George Gascon guy or whoever the fuck's in office right now, or who, you know, the DA, whoever it is, and for LA, fools are getting busted and just... Bro, they're literally busting you, taking your gun, taking your dope, and putting you back on the street if you don't have like an active warrant. Mm-hmm. And it's not a violation on parole probation. Fools are committing crimes and just getting out the next day.
Yeah, like my boy just got caught up for that and got OR'd.
On recognizance on a pistol.
Right, but see, 10 years ago, let you get caught for some shit like that and get bailed out, and we looking at you like, how you do that?
Right. Who'd you tell on?
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So today, I don't want to label anybody because I'm one of them dudes that speaks with black and white paperwork in hand, right? I can't tell who's who no more. Mm. The government making it hard to tell who's who. Mm. They're changing their laws, letting fools, you know, you get busted for what I get busted for. Back then, it was 15 years. Today, it's fucking a slap on the wrist and walk home.
Now, if you got mods on your shit, you got a switch or a 30 stick or a box.
Yeah, you're fucked, bro. I think it's silencer, body armor, bulletproof vest, high capacity magazines. Yeah, you're on your way to something different.
But really, post pandemic, they're like
so we're under resourced.
Yeah.
Because Arizona, we walk around with it everywhere. But here, if you get caught with it, I know it's a big deal.
It is. Like we don't play with the gun laws out here.
That's fine.
However, post pandemic, they're pushing people through the system real quick.
I'm not sure if this is important, but Boosie was let out today, this morning, and his buddy who he got busted with is still locked up.
So he might be taking the damn charge.
Yes, sir. I mean, it wouldn't be something that you would. It's what you signed up for, man. You know what's going on?
Yeah, he remains in custody until bail is set on this Thursday coming up.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's what do you say? Like, it's Boosie, he's a gangster, he should be with security. Let's play devil's advocate. Boosie, you're a fucking millionaire. Why don't you have a security detail that's has licenses, this and that, so you don't encounter things like this? Let's play devil's advocate to that. Well, shit, niggas who make a couple $1,000s for this trip aren't gonna protect me with their life just for a few thousand. So I'd rather have these niggas here who are bound by code and bound by ethics rather than niggas who are bound to me by a few $1,000s. So it's like, well, I don't know what to say. He's a gangster though, so this is what gangsters got to deal with.
Rather get caught with it than caught without it.
Right. My square ass, I'm cool. I don't need it. But if I was a gangster at the end of the day, if I need it.
Hey,
That's what you feel me?
I'm trying to beg for forgiveness, not permission. That's me personally. I get it though, 1,000%. And it's better stay up out the streets. There's no point. I don't do nothing wrong. I'm square as Delaware nowadays. People always be like the conversation of Lush. Oh, you really finna run south side if you get caught up?
Can we talk about that? 'Cause everybody, I be seeing like, where's Lush? Lush from the hood. I'm like, whoa, Lush from like what?
So I'm gonna say this.
I'm sure you've seen this too.
I've addressed this several times, and I'm not gonna get into. My section is under.
I don't.
Is under investigation, so I'm not supposed to talk about any of that anymore.
Let that bus pass.
That's already been out there.
Okay.
People be like, oh, but what I will address though, being from a privileged background, how did you fall into the life that you live? Well, I'll say this. West LA, back in the 80s and 90s, it was very common. Our nice areas are blocks away from the hoods, and we all kind of intermingled. I was outside at a very early age and kind of just was embraced and adopted by that lifestyle. A lot of people also ask me all the time, like, how come, like, oh, like, why don't you just get a job with your family? I have made it like, oh, like, and then they're like, oh no, his family won't fuck with him because they don't trust drug addicts and stuff. Like, first of all, neither of those things are accurate. I'm close with my family.
I think you said you were the caretaker of your mother's.
Yeah, I am a part-time caretaker of my mother. Yeah, very close with my family, held in high regard by my family.
That's respect, though, homie.
Yeah, but what I will say is this: like, when I leave here today, I'm going home, going to bed, waking up, driving to my parents' house, and taking my mom on a bunch of errands. Like you know what I mean? I do that. It's what I do all the time, and I cherish every moment with her. It's an honor and a privilege to get to spend time with my mother during, her last lucid moments. However, I made it a point at a very young age that I would rather struggle than be the product of nepotism. Like, I know at the end of the day, I will never be homeless. I have that luxury. And by the way, you're not homeless. I don't consider you homeless. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you and I have made similar decisions. This is the path we chose.
Our family.
I relate to you 100%. I could go home right now and be in a house with my family and shit, but I have a future and kids that have to be paid.
You believe in yourself. I believe in myself.
Yeah.
And I know, like, look, I've been so close to making, without the help of my family in any capacity, at times when I was fully estranged from my family, still busting big deals, making things happen for myself, putting myself in position to where I will have my own lineage of long-term sustainable generational wealth. I've come close multiple times, missed the mark, and I'm back up off the canvas. I'm going to do it again.
You've done hell of a job. You got to think about how many artists, how many people in the battle, how many people in these spaces who nobody know their name from Joe. They know it's just average Joe. You have a name in this space. You have a catalog in this space. You've been a part of so much great things that's happened in this, outside of your family.
Yeah, it's all been outside of my family. I've helped people become millionaires.
Talk about it.
You created your own lane.
I've created my own lane, and I'm at the point now, when we revisit this conversation this time next year, I'm going to be up millions.
Right.
I'm on my way.
Right.
I don't speak on a lot of the things that I got going on outside of this space, but I dream big.
Seen but not heard.
And I execute.
Yep.
I execute. And I'd rather miss the mark and fail on my own than succeed on the merit of somebody holding my hand.
God. Say it one more time.
And I think a lot of people...
No. Say it one more time, please.
I would rather fail on my own merit than succeed being on the merit of somebody else. And like, I think I'm at the point, I said it more eloquently the first time.
Yeah,
but you
it's
get
all
it.
good.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
get the point.
Yeah, yeah.
We get that. That hit home.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that. But then again, you wouldn't know unless you're in my shoes. Like, yeah, I get it. People in the hood, they want to be in a position to be able to provide better lives for their family. But then, like, if you look at this, look at like all of the rappers that blew up, athletes, rappers, you know, actors, people even outside of business owners, whatever, that made it out the hood. A lot of their kids that were raised with privilege are fuckboys. They're pure products of nepotism.
Entitlement plays a huge role.
They have no
The
capacity.
ones that get caught speeding in a Ferrari doing 120 and get fucking overnight probation in a beautiful camp in Malibu.
Look at T.I.'s kids. Look at fucking 50's son. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are fucking lames.
It's
You know?
privilege. I ain't gonna go as far as lame because I want to travel
Say
over
it
there. and shit, but
again,
I get what
homie.
you mean. I get what you,
Marquise is a fucking lame, fool.
50 Cent son?
He's a lame.
Oh, that man is a I don't know. Yeah, bro, you lame as hell. You 20-something-year-old asking your dad to pay for something? That's lame. I don't care. Lush,
but
I'm gonna agree with you on that
look,
one, bro.
like,
Marquise,
you guys-
that's different.
Both of you guys are fortunate enough to have something to fall back on should you have to fall back. And that's like saying should you have to, but you chose to jump out of a warm household with a fucking nice bed and a blanket to go feel the struggle so that you can create your own lane in life.
To me, it was never a choice of, oh, I want to feel the struggle.
No, but it comes with the territory of chasing your dreams.
And even like by the time I got to that point, I was already. Look, like I said so many times, I got arrested for the first time when I was 13. I was in the system at 16. I was out the house at 17. Between 16 and 19, I'm in 11 different treatment facilities. So I went through all that by the time I wound up getting my feet back on the ground again, I was like, my standards had been completely lowered to the point where I was just happy to do what I do. And I didn't humbled. And I didn't want to I also know, growing up in the shadow of Hollywood, I know what the fuck goes on in that world, and I want no parts of it.
With the gang shit, right? Not even gang. Let's put that word out. With the brotherhood shit, right? Cowboy, Nipsey Hussle's older homeboy, he had an interesting point on the Nothing to Something podcast. If you have a time, go check them out. But he had an interesting point. He said that, man, now looking back at it in hindsight, we the squares, we became the gang members because that's what all our friends was doing. We was gang members. We did the gang shit. But now looking back at it, we calling these people squares because they did their own thing. And it blew my mind away because this is coming from Cowboy, someone who's revered, someone whose accolades you can't take that from him.
Street resume, reputable.
You can't take that from him. So
shouts to my boy Stro, by the way. He did the Nipsey Hussle mural that's over there.
Shit.
Yeah,
Salute
he's
to
in the
him.
chat.
Oh,
Right?
hell yeah. Oh, Monstro?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, homie. Shout out Monstro, dog.
Salute to him.
No, 100%. Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Okay, so he said that, right? So that's when I brought up the brotherhood shit. Like, do you ever feel, because when he said that, I was like, whoa, that's fire. Because a lot of people won't say that. Like, a lot of people, I never heard a gang, like someone who's well respected be like, man, when I look back at it, bro, like, I did this shit. I did the cool shit. The gang bang was the cool shit. The not cool shit was to be yourself, do your own shit. And looking back at it, like, that was cool.
But no, 100% though, like, I can relate.
You get what I'm saying?
The people that I felt accepted by were the gangsters, were the people, the dope dealers, were the people. That's where I felt like I fit in. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the popular kids. It wasn't the kids playing sports. It wasn't,
or not even just the kids that are just not
the schoolboys, whatever.
type,
you know,
type shit.
That
You
wasn't.
fit into the people in the streets.
That's where I
related to them.
That's where I found my identity. That's where that's where I felt like I belonged from the beginning.
How did if you don't mind me asking, like, now that you're older and mature enough to look back, how did your family see you when you made that turn in life? Like,
They were just really worried about me always.
did they shine you off, or did they try to help you? Did they try to reach out? Did
they for sure tried to
they
help
give
me.
up help? Because I know a lot of people say stupid shit, right? But me as your boy, like I'm asking, I want to know how your family, you know, treated you to your ability of being out in the streets. You know, how did they react?
It was like they had never seen, like, nobody in my, like, first of all, you got to understand, like, I'm the first person in my family that didn't go to college.
Right.
I'm the first person in my family with tattoos. I'm the first person in my family that was incarcerated. You know what I mean? I'm the first person in my family that got a divorce. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
That didn't just go start a family and have kids. Like, I took a very
Unorthodox approach.
very unorthodox path. From the beginning, they were definitely concerned. I come from a loving home, and I love my parents. It was never like, fuck you, mom, fuck you, dad. Like, it
wasn't a rebel.
You still cared about your family, and
Yeah.
you knew that was pops and moms and respected them.
Yeah.
The household.
I'm a very family oriented person.
Right.
Me and my pops used to get into it when I was in high school for show. Like, because I mean, he would be gone working for months at a time. Then he would like come back. And like I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? You think like you run the house? Like this is my house. What are you talking about? We would get into
Just young testosterone.
Yeah, young testosterone, Oedipus complex type shit. We would get into, like, me and my pops used to get into fist fights and shit. Like, there's holes in the walls from me and my dad getting down and shit. Like, but no,
Man out of you though.
yeah. I loved him. It was never like I hate you, daddy. Like, it was never like, I wasn't like one of those white kids like, fuck you, mom.
Yeah.
Make me some French toast, bitch. Like,
Man, I be seeing some of these kids talking to their parents nowadays. They need to get the fucking piss slapped out of them. But,
yeah.
you know, it's interesting because people say you come from a successful background, right? Like your family's, you know, they have some kind of like wealth behind them.
And not every rehab, because just to answer Nicole's comment, not every rehab I went, a lot of the rehabs I went to were the city run.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
But that's what I'm saying,
These aren't
man.
like my parents paying for. I went to a couple nice rehabs, but the majority of those spots
Was government arranged.
Yeah, fool.
Yeah, they keep
It's
the lights on for you.
It's
Don't
like
discriminate.
it's like prison, fool. Like literally. Like
Yeah, I get it.
yeah.
Hey, I just my
Go ahead,
bad.
go ahead.
Just a quick question. I got family members that be dealing with addiction and shit. What would you say is better, like the city-run rehabs or rehabs where you go pay for it? I know it sounds like a dumb question because if you pay for
Not
it,
a dumb question.
but like where do you
actually
get
smart.
where do you get the most help? So when I get in position, I can help my people.
Pay for the rehab.
Just pay for it.
100%.
See, when you're forced to do something, you're a kid, you're forced to go do your Holy Communion, you never go back to fucking church again until something happens and you're ready to go back. So, like, it's because something had to happen to get your attention. So something had to happen for you to go to a government arranged one. But if you really want the change and you have the money to pay for the change, you're going to get what you pay for, homie.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Because in my head, I'm like, it's money, business world, and they just want the big cash. You know how this insurance, all this shit. You know, I'm thinking big.
You get the better help at a higher level. They help you realize, like, that you really need something different in your life from what you're doing every day. And if you go to a government-run facility, you're there because you're forced to be there. So it's you and 4 or 5 other homies going to the same program, and now y'all looking forward to dabbing each other's. You know, when you come to the rehab, instead of focusing on what you're supposed to be there for, you get, you know, there's less distractions when you're paying for private treatment.
Perfect.
Now, keep in mind also, $10 EUC vibes. These are my bars on those 4 words linked below. All right, go crazy, shorty. Run it up. It took us a while today, but we did hit 100 live concurrent viewers, and we appreciate all y'all. I know it's late.
For sure.
But if you in the damn building, don't hesitate. Like, share, subscribe, comments. If you can, shoot the super chats. All the donations go to keeping this lit. So shoot it past the wire, homeboy. We appreciate it. But I'll say, just to like bring this conversation to its logical conclusion, at the end of the day, when I make it on my own and when I achieve what I know that I can and what I've set out to do a couple decades ago, it's going to feel that much better that I really can say that I did it on my own.
Well,
and I'm self-made.
I feel that.
You know, it's one of the things that gravitated, like got me to gravitate towards you when I first met you. You being like who you are and battling with addiction and then coming back and still, it's like not taking no for an answer.
Right.
And when you think about things like that, you think about greatness. Why? Because if you look at most of the people who have made it to some kind of fame or celebrity status today, every great story comes from a troubled background.
Absolutely.
Every person that I mean, you know, not every person, but most people who have paved the way for people to be famous came from a struggle. You know, and now like you're talking about, right, Lush, the generations, the kids born into this shit.
Right.
But when you think about the great stories, like Jennifer Lopez was just a Latina in, you know, New York type shit, you know, Jenny from the Block, went to audition for what was that, Living Color Fly Girl, made it, thought it was a little side job, and look where she's at today, right? But she was living the struggle. You know, people sleeping in their cars, people battling addiction, and now look today, you're in a place where people are looking up to you and giving you shout outs and all that good stuff. And you know, with all the great fame comes hate, right? There's always going to be somebody in the background who's just mad at the world that you made it. But maybe someday you could be consistent enough in your behavior that you actually turn that person from being a hater into being a believer and them trying to do their thing. So when I look at all these great stories, my boy, like, think about it. Running backs, quarterbacks, you know, most of the NFL players, basketball, baseball. Bro, some of them fools are still committing crimes, doing dumb things. But every great story comes from a struggled story.
Trauma,
1000%.
trauma plays a role in success. That's my personal belief.
With that being said, speaking of trauma leading to success, there is two people that turned their lemons into lemonade. 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, they announced that tour, bro.
They're on the final lap of their G Unit with Busta Rhymes tour, over 70 shows. Now, I want to just let y'all know this, that a lot of people's aunties are finna be twerking in the club.
They bringing them back out.
Yeah, the Tias are going to be in the building, and it's a beautiful thing. I love it. Look, I'll tell you this. I've gone to performed at thousands of hip hop shows, gone to countless. I can't even begin to tell you. Busta Rhymes is probably the best live performer.
Queen's Flips. I've watched several different platforms say this. What is it about it? Is it
the energy?
Just the energy?
The energy.
I mean, it starts off with the energy, bro. The way they hit the stage from the very first come in, whether they're quiet and they're staring at everybody with the big bugged out eyes, or they come in just dropping heat, like. It's the energy.
Yeah, Busta does give you that personality.
Keep in mind something too. Busta Rhymes is an MC. He's not a rapper. He's an MC. He really knows how to rock a crowd. He's not doing the Rolling Loud thing of
like he's not doing soundtrack, like it's his actual voice.
It's his actual voice. He is rapping, and he has these crazy, double time, triple time cadences.
Hit him,
and he's hitting them syllable for syllable.
You can hear the words and shit.
And him with his hype man's flip star going back and forth.
Dreads going nuts.
Dreads everywhere. Like so. The first time I saw Busta live was in 1996, I believe, and it was right when his second his extinction level event, the second album, the one with put your hands where my eyes can see, which to this day is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Damn.
You know that song? If you really want to party with me. You know that song?
Yeah.
Hit
I was in my dad's
what you saying, yo? Silly with the 9 millimeter, dilly, yo, yeah. That shit right there. He, like, bro, and this was like this peak Busta Rhymes in his, because he first came out with Leaders of the New School, so he had like that whole initial trajectory. Then he went solo, and this is like after his first album. This is his second album. He's already had multiple hits. He's a solidified star as a solo artist, and he's feeling himself. Higher Learning was already in the theaters. He's like, he
came out with that same sound, or did this gradual?
So he always rapped like that. He always rapped like that. But like Leaders of the New School were like a really conscious 5%er. They were like the same vein as like a Tribe Called Quest and groups like that. You could hear them. If you want to hear like quintessential Busta Rhymes, there's a song called What's Next by Leaders of the New School. Look that up, and look up Scenario by Tribe Called Quest, one of the greatest posse cuts in hip hop history. And a lot of like the sayings that Busta had in that verse were sampled is considered one of like the best verses in hip hop history. That all
So if you had
like
to
a
rate-
Dungeon Dragon, that Nicki Minaj, she took that from that verse by Busta.
If you had to rate Buster on your scale in hip hop, what category would you put him in with like greatness?
He's an all-time great. He's an all-time great, and if for no other reason, his live performance ability separates him from everybody. I feel
do you
bad for
remember-
50 to have to share the stage with him. Like,
Do you remember back in the day when he had the MTV Spring Break? They used to do that.
yeah, of course, yeah,
And
yeah.
This fool would come out and just have it like live, homie. You know, there's some artists will be there, people be right there just moving, and then when he come out, you just
Oh, you can see the
the
difference.
whole fucking crowd just jumping, homie. Like,
Yeah, he's an amazing performer.
Spring Break.
And like the flow, he's got one of the best flows. I feel like where you can criticize him is a lot of his lyrics lack depth and meaning, and a lot of his bars aren't up to par with some of the people that should be in that conversation. Like, he's not a lyricism on the level of Nas or, you know what I mean, people like that.
Definitely
But
not,
he's
bro.
gotten considerably better. If you listen to the album he put out a couple years back, like he's flexing these other attributes that we've kind of overlooked him
Yeah,
for.
he's
So,
influential in many different ways. So,
but
but I've heard that so much. That's why it's like, damn, he must be a legend on that.
as a performer, nobody's fucking with him. Catalog wise, probably 50 got him on that, but performance, like, he's gonna blow the spot every
50
single time.
finna come down like it's the Super Bowl again with his little chubby ass. I know he been hitting the gym, man. Shout out 50. But he gonna come down off the ceiling again, bro. He's like, Busta ain't gonna outdo me on this tour.
And 50 is a dope performer. Let's quote this dude. Uke vibes. He said, never soft, going hard, breaking shorty's back. She don't even look that good. Still ain't holding back. Lit off the honey pack. Put it in the wrong hole. All right, well, I'm done with you. You're fucking funny though, but I will.
He's still going, fool.
Let's
Look at
go.
this fool, dog.
AUC vibes, baby. But yeah, no. But the show that I saw Busta perform at, it was him and the Alcoholics at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
One of the best shows I've ever seen. Incredible. Shouts to them. That tour is going to be lit.
Are we going?
I mean, I wouldn't be
They
opposed.
working
Are we
70
going?
shows?
Ralph, are we going?
I'm old. I don't go to too many shows nowadays, but
Need a field trip signature.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. We've hit an array of topics, but we still got some viewers in the building. In fact, we hit our peak a little while ago, so I appreciate all of y'all.
Shout out to the millions of people in the fucking chat.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
did you guys hear about Duno getting fired from Power 106 today?
did he get fired or did he what?
I don't know. He posted something about
He said something stupid.
separating ways because I didn't know too much about hip hop.
He said that as a joke.
He really doesn't know about hip hop though.
There's truth in every fucking joke. Let's get to that. Okay,
It
let's
says that he had posted or they asked him for a list of music he wanted to hear, and it was all corridos, you know, the Mexican.
Seeing that sentiment from Duno now made me realize how all my friends looked at me when I got fired from No Jumper,
Okay, get to it.
because
Break it down.
I root for Duno. I want Duno to win.
Same. He's such a great person. Like,
I love Duno.
personality wise.
Seeing him get that Power 106 gig, I was like, yes.
That was one for the team.
That was like, I felt like, it was definitely.
Like he paving the way for radio personalities now, you know, podcaster to graduating to a radio personality.
And that's a whole trajectory, you know? You're right. That as well. Because normally it's the radio host becoming podcasters.
Because they're
but
washed
now,
up.
Right, but now
He went from being a podcaster to being a radio host.
I always thought of Duno as way more. I feel like he's just a personality. I feel like the same way I am like just an entertainer. I do music. I curate events. I host battles. I do podcasting. You know what I mean? I do songwriting for other artists. I've done A&R work for other artists.
He has a catchy voice.
I just feel like he's a $10 from Aussie G Just testing my super chat works. Had to update my details. Much love.
Shout out, it works.
Yeah, you lit.
Shout out, IPG, it works.
Keep it working, yeah, you know. But all these things, you know, like yeah, Duno was a dope graffiti
TikTok
writer,
to-
you know, TikToker, all these different hats. I just look at him as a creative entity, and he makes music. He does a whole lot of things. So I don't even just look at him as a podcaster, but I was just happy to see him in this space. I know I'm somewhat privy to what he was making monetarily over there. It was a bag.
Okay,
Yeah.
granted, we love all of that. Let me get in my Joe bag.
Go ahead, go crazy.
Is it deserved?
Is what deserved.
The position over there at Power 106, a predominantly hip hop based platform or radio station.
As a Chicano voice in this predominantly Chicano city, well deserved.
What's played
necessary?
What's played on Power? Is that predominantly
think
Chicano
we-
music
I
or
think-
predominantly rap?
But you
Well,
know what?
It's a hip hop station.
I think we talked about this the other day.
Yeah, that's
right?
what makes it a great
and
conversation.
So Power 106, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a conversation Ralph was involved in. Power 106 started as like a Latino Mexican type radio station back in the day with DJ Henry and Power Mix,
DJ
and Power
Irene,
Tools, DJ
Baker
Irene,
Boys.
Baker Boys.
They used to slap-
shout out to the fucking Baker Boys though, because you know what?
They were
I
doing
was-
deep house mixes
my
and
boy,
party crew music. And shit.
Party crew, underground construction. You know, they were doing like hip. What was that shit? Techno house. Doing all that stuff, and then
Yeah.
they transitioned into hip hop. You know, like evolved into basically they went with where the community was going, right? And it jumped into hip hop. But then they used to have it cracking, homie. Like I remember being a teenager and I couldn't wait to stay awake on Friday night till 12 midnight because Power Tools was on, and they were live at like the Circus or the Dome, like big clubs that don't exist today no more. You know what I'm saying? It was a time that was just popping. So to say that it would, you know, why is he on there? There's a reason why there's Mexicans on the radio station at Power 106.
I mean, Letty is
Well,
the beast in the space.
$10.90 from Faded Fools. Big up, Lush. I'm a fellow Anna Kappa alum. That's where I was locked up when in November 1999. Don't worry about nothing. Lush is going to the moon.
Oh, hard.
Right to the signs. Hey, I know you got that.
Hard.
Dude, Faded Fools, hit me up on Instagram. Please, because we gotta tell some Anna Kappa stories. Not
Yeah.
many people can relate. Please
Drop
shut
on 'em.
down.
Gotta
Yeah.
see that reunion.
Yeah.
No, but getting back to Duno, man. I mean, Duno's a great personality. He's developing into even better on-air personality, getting into movies and shit. But I think a lot of the criticism that people have put out there is, how can you be a voice in hip-hop when you've been on No Jumper stating that you don't necessarily listen to hip-hop?
I feel like he downplays that. A lot of he knows what's up. Like, and at the end of the day, he's not over there to be a voice for hip hop culture.
I think he was an added personality for.
He's a
in-between
personality, and
commercials.
he's important for Los Angeles. Rosecrans Vic definitely knows a lot about hip
He
hop.
knows the shit. Shout out Rosecrans.
So having him
Shout
over
out
there,
Letty too, the
Shouts-
fucking who's at the helm of what's going on over there.
I've never met Letty, but I'm a big fan.
I just love the paradigm and her
the
attitude.
voice,
Yeah, it's dope.
soothing voice on the radio.
She's so fine, bro. I don't give a fuck.
I
She is so bad, bro. God
really can't
damn.
say, you know.
MJ, Duno's only 22, so he doesn't know, bro.
Shit, we the same age, but I feel you though.
EUC vibes.
No, but here, look, this one.
Thank you for the Cinco piece.
With doing okay, so the fact that there's a hiatus or there's a breakup this quick, a lot of people aren't like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? People are like, shit, yeah. We love the fact that you've been in that position. Like,
Honestly.
we love that. No hate, but we gotta be contextual here. What's going on? Someone like we have a day in LA, we have other platforms, we have people that could possibly be in that position and play.
I would love to be in that position.
You
I
would
ain't
be
gonna
a
lie. I'd like to be on Power 106.
I would love that.
Even if it was for a day or a field trip, homie, call it what you want. I was there.
I would wake up at 3 a.m.
Right? Make sure I'm on
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You know what I think it is big shoes to fill once Big Boy left, because you had Jay Cruz in his show and that
Talk
didn't last.
about
And you had Nick Cannon in there for a short bit and that didn't last. So we'll see how long Brown Bag, puts it out there for. for them.
AUC vibes. I did read your freestyle. What you mean, homie?
That was working with feelings, dog.
I read your freestyle.
He said he sent it to you, your IG, wanted you to read it out.
Oh, okay.
He said I sent it on your IG message.
Hold on.
That's what he said.
He put some money up. I feel like we should do that for him. Do y'all think that the Oscar De La Hoya comments was a part of why he wound up getting chalked?
I think so, bro, because like now, I mean, look at the Kanye, look at the Kanye thing and Adidas dropping him because he made a comment they didn't like. I mean, let's really think about what's going on here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes are losing big gigs and stuff over freedom of speech.
Well, that's how Nick Cannon got fired too. He made a anti-Semitic statement.
Right,
they fired his ass too. Just like
So he said some crazy shit.
he called Oscar De La Hoya a crackhead.
Yeah.
But he's a comedian. Yo, we got to shoot him some rope for that.
I mean, at the end of the day, was he lying?
Oscar De La Hoya is a fucking cokehead.
That's not my place to speak. But he's a comedian.
At the end of the day, was he lying? Why did he get fired? Because the truth hurt? Like,
Well, he did have it as an Instagram caption.
Okay, but that's his. Well, you know, I don't know what the contract stated with Power 106, but that's your Instagram, bro.
I hope that I know that Duno's still making money, still doing his thing.
As he's
still on Figmunity World. He's still got.
Keep speaking the truth and keep speaking
All
facts.
right, but hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all friends, y'all got business. I'm gonna say this straight up. Duno, you're a great person in this space, but here's the thing, right? I think you tiptoe the line between podcaster and comedian, right? If you're going to be a comedian, hit the stand up. I think you've gotten this advice from Joe Coy and other legends in the space. Hit the stand up road, put in the groundwork, and kill that shit because you kill it in other content. We know you kill it there. If you're going to be a podcaster, do the podcaster shit, develop, curate, and really hone in on the craft because that's the thing. Yeah, people like, I don't really do the interview shit. I'm here to just joke and laugh and shit. But no, this is a craft. This is an art. Whether you want to joke around and be funny, that's great. You go do that. Or if you're going to be a podcaster, you really own in on this shit. Develop, curate. Not just, we up here for a few hours, we joke and we doing the quarters. No, the interview questions got to be a point. Everything got to, if you're in this space for this long, you have to be some of the best people at this shit. You don't just do this for shits and giggles.
He actually did some pretty solid interviews during his tenure at No Jumper.
But he's also known for having some of the craziest questions in between some of the most intense topics.
That as well.
So I'm being impartial here, bro. I fuck with you, Duno. I really do. But I'm just saying, I fuck with you. I don't have no business with you. I don't really care how you feel about me. If I get on the stream or not, great. But I would want you, I see you like, damn, you great already. So imagine if you get crazier at the craft. If you get crazier at the craft, or if you get even better at the stand-up shit, they your homies. They niggas don't gotta tell you, hey, bro, yeah, you doing just great. Your bills is paid. Your kids, you doing just great. I don't give a fuck. If I think you could be better here, and you think I could be better here, tell me. That's what I'm in here, to be the greatest. So if you're in this space, nigga, be great. Do the stand-up shit, great at that. If not the podcasting shit, we're great at this. It's the same shit I was saying for AD. Niggas is great already. But this is a craft. This is not just up here for 2 hours and we're, how'd your weekend go? Your weekend went that. No, this is fucking serious here. Hundreds of billions of dollars in this shit. There's a youth that's looking up to niggas.
And you know what? I agree. And it's just like there's different styles of podcasting. There's different styles of how people get down. Some people just want to see groups of homies laughing and joking around.
No, you can't say that when the numbers are dwindling. You can't say that because when niggas was over at No Jumper, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case.
Me personally, I like delving into topics. I like discussing what's going on, what's relevant. I like putting my voice and opinion and experience and then coloring it with what's going on and jokes.
In addition
to that.
Substance and context
But the
first.
substance, without that, we have nothing. And for me, and that's just what I bring to the table. And I think a lot of people like that from me. People weren't really interested in me going back and forth.
Why do you think no one gives a fuck wherever you go? Niggas are going to tune in.
You know, and
You know how to drive a conversation.
because I'm passionate, and just like, you know, you guys are both passionate in your own regards. And
They always say, like, when you meet, how does another man know when he meets another alpha male, right? And I know one of the qualities was, you know, been said that it's how a person drives the conversation.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
You got two guys who think they know everything, but one's driving the conversation. Who's the alpha?
Right. I mean, like, yeah, there's levels to it. I do want to read some of EUC Vibes' freestyle because it's fucking long. I can't do all that, but I will start
Damn, he
right
got
here.
do it. That's he got a pen game for sure.
Blah, 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 blah. Damn, still hard. Gotta beat it like MJ. I got me, bro. Last MJ reference goes to MJ on the live show right now. Great content. Lush World got an eye for talent. Like Adam did. Somehow differences. Big Lush really been in the hood straight wildin'. Not on a damn bicycle in Rhode Island.
Ooh,
He
what
never shoot corn with his prego girl. Head looking like a golf ball with all them pokes. That's, oh, come on, bro.
Oh, he going in.
It's starting to get crazy. All right.
I wonder if he used AI. He typed 5 words in on Nova.
My boy got bars, but it got janky. You know what I mean?
Damn, he was going in a little too hard. Shout
Yeah.
out to you, Brody.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat too, man.
Shouts to the chat. Appreciate all y'all running it up, dropping your 2 cents.
Definitely.
Whether or not you putting up the money, we appreciate the conversation and appreciate the just attention and all y'all being a part of it. We without y'all, we ain't shit.
What's a fact?
So
That's all I'm saying. These people pay the bills. Might as well give them the greatest shit.
yeah.
Well,
Give them the greatest
that's-
you.
You give your fans what they want.
Yeah, give them the greatest you, not the mediocre. Not
Lush, any plans for an OnlyFans page?
No, sir.
I didn't mean sexual content wise. Like, I hear normal people saying they want to create OnlyFans page, and when I look at them, I know goddamn good and well ain't nobody paying to see ass.
No, but what I am interested in doing is getting a Lush World Patreon cracking.
That could be possible.
Can I throw a suggestion?
$10 ACG. Shout out to MJ for showing up when Flacco couldn't make it.
Real nigga, RCG, hey, real nigga, you my boy. I'm tuned in. I'm finna sub you. How about that?
Yeah.
Real nigga.
Yeah, that.
Hey, shout out to that boy too, man. Salute to him.
What was your suggestion though, sir?
Hey, bro, the fact that you ushered in the fucking rap movement over at No Jumper, shit, man. You know, it would be dope to see LA artists or West Coast artists in a new space just doing freestyles, ushering the cypher scene. Like, I don't know why. I feel like there's like a huge void in that right now. I feel like growing up, I used to see artists that I fuck with in so like Thizzler. We don't got no Thizzler here.
Well, all I can say, you're very wise, and stay tuned to GTX Battles. Go to the GTX Battles
Tuned in.
YouTube channel.
GTX.
Subscribe.
Tuned
We
in.
running it up. We got a lot. We got some big, and in fact, I'm gonna have Disaster on the pod
Woo,
in the
shit.
next, possibly this week.
I'm here with
If-
popcorn if I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Yeah. We got some things in motion. But you're on point. I'm definitely trying to help bridge the gap between lyrical hip hop, straight ciphers, and the battle rap scene, and the Venn diagram where they bisect and overlay and find that sweet spot and
Hit it on the head.
lean into that for our brand. Somebody else who's doing a great job is pushing the ciphers forward is Gina Views, and she had a pretty interesting appearance on My Expert Opinion by Math Hoffa. Were you able to catch any of that?
For the most part, what I caught a few, like a clip or two, but basically what I can commend about her is that out of all the shit that happened, like she said straight up, like she didn't shit on him. Yeah.
I thought that Gina was very, very classy.
Yeah, like you got as a black woman when you're stereotyped in a certain way, and the fact that you fucking fuck their head up like that, I was like, that's good, like good shit. She could go up there, yeah, and this nigga here, one and this nigga, yeah, this nigga here, this bitch ass. Ain't none of that. Like really professional, really getting indoors and shit. Like Gina. 5 years ago, she was doing ciphers. That's why I was going in on the Flacco guy, because when we talk about hip hop, Gina Buse has paid her fucking dues.
Nah, people in the city really respect Gina.
She's paid her dues. Like freestyles of artists that are fucking platinum sellers right now. Back then.
I like the way she handled that, and she made it clear, like, hey, you know, I don't fuck with bro, but considering the fact that he believed in me and put me on, I'm not gonna be the one. I don't want to look back on this and look back on me talking shit or whatever. And I think she, honestly, I'm gonna keep it a stack. Gina handled that classier than any of us that left
That's a lot coming from you, huh?
She handled it way classier than anybody else. I have a great deal of respect for the way she moved in that scenario.
But I mean, I don't know the intricacies of what went on, but I mean, it didn't really look like they had a toxic relationship. So
I'll say that there are elements, it's not for me to speak on, but there are elements of, she could have she had a lot to be upset about from my perspective. And she could have really said a lot worse than she did.
Did you
then a
see
few tweets?
I know we don't want to get into that conversation over there, but you sitting there, did you see any of that coming at all? Like the whole breakup thing? Did you see, like, if one went, they all went, or like did you
I knew that back on Big, or sorry, I knew that at the end of the day we're gonna leave. I knew that T-Rail and them were gonna take off, and AD. I didn't think it was gonna be in such a
fast,
jarring way. I thought it was going to be a little bit more over time. And no, I did not see what wound up transpiring. And then even seeing people like Bassa and Riley and Kelvin and all them getting let go, I didn't see that happening at all. But,
that's cool. I just wanted to ask that question.
No, I didn't see it going down like that in the slightest.
It's crazy because you guys are like working, having a good time today, and then tomorrow it's like, what the fuck happened yesterday?
Yeah.
Type shit. You know what I mean?
Like the saying goes, it was all good just a week ago. Mm-hmm. But hey, these things happen. With that being said, just as a final note, Jumper Universe Orbit story. There was saw you had on there the OGZ.
Oh yeah, I touched a little bit about that on my platform, but yeah, man. As you know, we're all fans of the Fig Community World. We're all fans of Back on Fig and community. Make sure we stop by that platform and tune in. But just a lot of the criticism that's been out there was the way that OGZ was handled as an artist.
I feel like the point of that podcast is not to interview artists or chop it up with artists, or really, you're entering their world. You're going over there to get a glimpse into that world and to see if you acclimate with it, and if those fans rock with you, you might be able to throw a little bit. What are you up to? Oh, you got an album coming out, cool. That's not the point.
Make it look organic.
It's not a stop on your press run. I don't think it should be. Me, I would love to have a conversation with OGZ. I feel like I could have done a deep dive in his entire history, from his contributions to, to wall banging, graffiti, to the whole trajectory of his career. I'm very well versed in, all of his notable appearances and hit records, and would have loved to be able to chop game with him about that. That's not really what goes on over there. Now, the question that you posed in the notes was, who's bigger, OGZ or...
Yeah, who has more of a cultural impact? Would you say Shame on You, or would you say OGZ?
That's like...
I'm telling you, I'm good at this shit.
Yeah, you are good. I think that it's somewhat, that's like saying, what has a bigger cultural impact, Call of Duty or the NBA?
The NBA?
It's like okay, Call of Duty or Major League Soccer.
I get you.
You know what I mean? It's like two completely different.
That's why I framed that, because I'm like, ooh, this is really good, because both opposing views, you can bring both those views to the table and go nuts with a debate. Because when you look at it from Jeezy perspective, nigga, my views run laps around your catalog, respectfully to the number one T-Rail and respectfully. But we're looking at it from content purposes. My numbers run laps around what you guys do.
I feel like right now, if I'm being honest,
No, we're talking about catalog in general. Catalogs from back then to now.
Well, so like OGZ's had a much longer run, you know what I mean? But currently relevant, I feel like Big Community World is more currently relevant than OGZ is.
Okay.
I feel like the trajectory of the podcasting space, in particularly like the LA hood contingent of that,
Community has a spotlight on them.
is rising with an upward trajectory, and I feel like there's a downward trend for LA street music currently. So
And that's the disconnect. That's it right there. I get it. I love.
Think about it. People are watching more podcasting today. When you look at subscribers and views, some podcast shows have more numbers than hip hop artists have on all platforms.
if the question was Moneybag Yo or Figmunity, obviously Moneybag Yo.
Right.
But OGZ, who really, I mean, he's done his thing as a solo artist, but he was at his cultural peak of relevance with Shoreline Mafia. Since Shoreline,
No.
yes.
Independently, he's been. Okay, yes. You're
Yes.
right. I can say that statistically. But independently, he's been as influential as he was with the group. He's touring on the East Coast as a West Coast Mexican artist.
He's an opening act. He's a supporting act, not an opening act. He's supporting YG's tour.
This is the Red Cup tour. We're talking beyond that. He was doing tours by himself. Shout out to Mo Fago, the African artist he let open up for him on his tour
Right, but
on the East Coast.
those are small club dates. He's not like selling out arenas.
Niggas on the West Coast ain't going to the East Coast for shit.
True.
So at least he could go to Ohio and go fuck up the scenes. At least he could go to all these Minnesotas and do that. East Coast, West Coast rappers can't do that. But here's what I was trying to say. What I was trying to get to is, okay, Shame on You is one of the biggest platforms on the West Coast right now. It is taking place for the No Jumper podcast, right?
And I feel like it transcends just the West Coast.
It's going to, but not yet. It hasn't. It's
I feel like there's a lot of people that watch that.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like there's more people that are tuning into that than there are people in New Jersey listening to OGZ.
Yeah, you're right, but there's not as much people watching that over the $1 million worth of game podcast.
Correct.
It's different levels. to
Correct,
podcasting
correct,
is what I'm trying to say.
correct.
But you are right too. But what I'm trying to say is, yes, Shame on You is one of the biggest platforms here on the West Coast. You got now, if artists. Now, No Jumper, obviously what happened. If we want to utilize your platform, we know you from going to No Jumper and doing our promo runs. That's how we sat down with a lot with people. Granted, they have their own relationships with people.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was through Pun.
I'm saying in general, we've known you guys not from No Jumper, from this platform, from interviewing, for podcasting. Now you're telling me that the dynamics of what goes on here isn't in my favor, into what I got going. How can we make it mutual is my question. Now, how do we make it mutual? What the dynamic that goes on at Shame on You, it's great. We love the everything that goes on. It's masterful. It's great. Now, you're telling me you can't figure out a way to incorporate artists so they can do promo runs and still do what you got doing? You can't mesh that?
Well, I mean,
And then we talk about, there's no platforms on the West Coast for people. There's no platforms.
well, it's really difficult when you're on a podcast. And imagine if Smack had been there too, and it would have been 4 strong alpha personalities all fighting for words with a guest.
I mean, it's doable.
It's doable. It's difficult.
It's difficult.
I feel like conversations like that are much better suited to 1 or 2 hosts.
Nah, fuck that, bro. You're number one. We got T-Row back on Figures, number 1 here in that race. So there's a way to be able to have conversations with artists that are prominent in the space and be able to do our thing.
Well, like somebody just said, John Sosa said, he had Hit Boy on yesterday.
Come on.
And I feel like that Hit Boy interview went a lot better.
Come on.
And it's because why? He didn't have a million co-hosts.
Okay.
It was a different vibe.
So we're getting to it then. So we're not canceling out artists and saying that what we got going on here doesn't really work for artists. That bothers me because I love this space.
I feel like that show, I'm not saying.
No, not coming from you. They said this themselves.
Yeah, no.
We got going on here.
I agree with them. I feel like that show, Shame on You, it doesn't, like, guests of that nature, it don't really make sense.
Well, that's limiting. That's putting a ceiling on it. Where are we chasing greatness?
But
Number 1 or are we number 2?
No, it's just different programming.
No.
Well, because look at it like this, MJ.
Talk to me.
Joe Budden podcast. They don't be having guests like that.
They do have. They don't have them like that, but they have frequent guests. They just had like 4 or 5 guests in last month.
But not the same. It's just different. Who have their recent guests been?
They have the Earn Your Leisure guys from over there. They had a huge art like the Travis Scott's artist. What's his name? The one that
Don Toliver.
Don Toliver's sitting up there with Ice Joe, Queen's Flip, and they can manage a conversation. And this is when I talk about if we're going to be number one, let's really talk about it. If they can do it, you're telling me T-Rail as talented he is, AD as talented he is, Duno and Smack can't do the same thing here on the West Coast?
They can.
That's all I'm saying, because I know I be potted. I know I be potted.
No, I agree with you, and you make a solid point. But Joe's podcast, to me, what people tune into that for is not like $1 million worth of game.
Joe could say that. He could say, we don't really do this. We don't need the artist. Can Joe not say that?
They don't need the artist.
He could say that, right?
Yes.
Can you not respect the fact that he's willing to be better and incorporate other shit and just saying, you know what, we could do this us for ourselves and we're going to be the greatest number one podcasters? That's not fair to say.
What I think we're going to start seeing from Figmunity World is they're going to be unleashing different content, different, news segments, interview segments, different characters, people from the outside, and that's when you might see things like interviews making a lot more sense. To me, I don't watch, and I'm not saying I wouldn't, but like, shame on you, I don't watch that for a guest. I watch it because I want to see these friends interact, and like I like the dynamic that they have.
Me too.
And they make me laugh. It makes you feel like you kicking it. You know what I mean? Like,
but so number ones, let's leave that to Big Joe Budden then, because you're saying you're not willing to develop. We're great at this. So is Joe, right? But if you can bring artists to push the promo, do shit, and cross promote, you're telling me you don't want to cross promote because you're that great.
I don't think it's about greatness. I think it's about, but yeah, you're right. When you start talking about things like number one,
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
When you start talking about things like number one, yeah, you should be able to do all that.
Because I love them niggas. I want them niggas to be number one too. I've been growing up. I'm not growing. The past few years, I've been watching these niggas. DMs.
How long you been watching Lush for?
Lush for the crazy. This is what I'm saying with Lush. I've been seeing Lush. I've been watching Lush like. I've watched rap battles, and just seen his face. And now that I'm sitting here next to him, I don't know how long ago I watched K-Shine when I was 16 years old.
So you were a fan of Lush before No Jumper?
No, not like a fan, but like I've known of Lush. I've watched battle raps and I've seen Lush. Until No Jumper, that's when I made it full circle.
Right, but before No Jumper, what did you know of Lush? Like what platforms? No, I'm saying what platforms did you see him on?
Like Organics with
King of the Dot.
King of the Dot. Yeah, I seen him there, and then just battle rap adjacent.
Right.
I wasn't really tuned in too much for the music, but not for the music. But I didn't really know too much about the music. I would just see him hosting battle rap.
No, and I wasn't asking to like make you look bad or nothing.
You could never make.
No, I'm just trying to kick a conversation. Some people say they're fans of certain podcasters, but they can't tell you shit about them. And so that's what I wanted to know.
MJ's pretty tuned in.
What you knew about Lush.
T-Rail, this is why I'm talking about T-Rail and AD, because I've watched the moment they've came to No Jumper, and I've been podcasting before them. So I've watched the development and the curation, right? So when I watched, it's basically like watching like someone ride a bike or play a sport and then get the hang of it and then be fucking great. Like I remember when that nigga could barely like shoot the ball. I've already shot fucking 30 interviews by the time they got to No Jumper, right? So when I seen them, I'm like, who the fuck? What the fuck? Oh shit. Oh no, wait. There's actually potential for greatness here. So if we're gonna be great here, let's be all the way fucking great, because there's a younger generation like myself who was inspired by that. So I'm inspired by.
You make a lot of really solid points. I can't front.
I know,
you're
bro.
Cooking right now.
They tap in. They know what I'm talking.
You're cooking right now. You are.
These same people I'm talking about. I've sent paragraph. They know what I'm talking about. It's from the heart.
No, you are cooking. Like the thing is though.
He's cooking Pedialyte.
Stay hydrated.
That's delicious. I love Pedialyte.
Keep you hydrated.
That was my fucking damn hangover cure back in the day. I love me some Pedialyte. I'm a fucking child. But no, I was grown man shit, to be honest.
Health is wealth. Kick the cup.
Kick the cup, please do.
Kick the cup.
I remember Miley even kicking the cup, actually.
Yes.
But Did he start the Kick the Cup? Was that it? Yeah, it was.
That was literally that Health is Wealth.
Yeah, that was him.
He ushered in that whole movement.
Yeah. I literally, man, I've seen people fucking dropping pints of lean on the ground, scraping it off the fucking asphalt.
I crashed 2 cars.
No, I'm saying scraping lean off the.
I'm kissing it,
bro.
I'm kissing
you're
it
licking
and
the ground.
I'm licking it. On my days.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, and don't nobody come clear. As soon as it start dripping, everybody back up. I don't need help. I know why you're trying to help me. I'm that type. It's dropped. Let me pick it up. Don't help me.
Shit, dog. I tried that shit a couple times. My boy, that shit was wild for me, dog.
Pay for sleep.
It's a whole nother different type of, it's like something I never experienced, but it was dope. It was dope. Would I do it again? No, but it was dope.
Yeah, fuck all that.
You know
Kicking the cup over here.
Yeah,
not pulling up in my cunchies.
Coonchies.
He got 2 ounces of walk in there right now.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all don't even know.
They said they painting the LW inside of Coonchies.
Hey, how many viewers we got right now, producer?
I see 110.
Damn,
we're 112.
That's crazy.
Oh, so they want to hear that topic we talking about.
They running it up. We appreciate y'all.
They want to hear that topic.
What? Please, if you're just tuning in, like, share, subscribe, drop some comments, cocaine bot emojis for the bot mafia. If you got some super chats, shoot them. If not, hit the like button because it's free to hit like. But either way, we appreciate all the viewers, all the support, everybody rocking with us, tuning in. It's a beautiful thing. My main man, Leo King, the most dedicated constituent of Lush World in the building. Great topic. I will say that regardless, I think we still, like, Budden's had a lot more time to develop in this space. He's been popping for years before T-Rail and them even attempted to step into this sector. I say give Community World some time and we might see more greatness. And if they want to have guests, they can. If they don't want to, I support either way.
But it's their show and they can do what the fuck they want now.
No, sorry.
It's my pussy, I do what I want. I'm a big girl now.
Not gonna work. If someone like me who studied this space and understand what works, I'm not the greatest. My channel ain't as big as these niggas, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you're going to start interviewing. You're gonna do what the meta tells you, not what you want to do. You could do what you want to do. It's only gonna go so far, because when that meta changes, you will.
I think that with that being said, who do you believe is more relevant right now? Big Community World or OGZ?
In the podcast space, definitely shame on you.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying overall, culturally.
Now, this is a little personal for me because I've been in OG's crib and he's given people in my community platforms and opportunities to change their lives. So this is a little personal and I'm going to be biased. I'm going to be real.
You're a podcast head.
And I'm a podcast head.
But you're a hip hop head.
Damn, that's why you, damn.
And you wouldn't even be into podcasting if it wasn't for hip hop.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, bro.
You don't be watching. You don't be watching fucking. You don't be doing African marathon podcasts.
Hey, you got the chicken or the egg? Which came first?
Yeah, that's
type shit.
Can I pass on this one?
No.
Nope.
You tried to fucking burn me with this question.
Hey,
now you're trying to be quiet.
No, fuck it. I don't. Hey, no friends in the industry of fact. Whoa, can't nobody take what God got written from me. But what I could say is, I would say right now. Okay, put it like this. If there's a tour right now, OGZ tour gonna sell out. I can't say the same for Shame on You.
That is true, but then again, OGZ's audience is conditioned to paying for live shows. The back on Big Community World's audience is conditioned to consuming their content live for free on the internet and making super chat donations. If OGZ started, going live, would he get as many donos?
Yeah, oh, that's a better question.
MJ was going to tell you when he said he's going to put on his own podcast, OGZ.
That's a good point.
I think he said that as a joke, right?
No, he was being serious.
Let's make it serious.
Yeah, you guys are doing, make believe shit. So
let's make it serious. Okay, now watch this.
Hypothetical.
In a year or two, you don't think OGZ someone who's played a factor in LA's, you don't think in a few years that OGZ would have one of the top podcasts here on the West Coast?
It's the skill set.
It's got to be 100% now.
The skill set of potting and making music and maintaining relevance in that space are not mutually exclusive. However, I do think that he would be a good podcaster.
With the years of development.
I feel like because he's a really good speaker, he's entertaining, he's intelligent. $10 again, my boy ICG putting numbers on the board. Can a bitch ever say I bought her Michael Kors? $10 attention from ICG. KOTD, ruin your day, no jumper. Stream for stream MVP Lush with the rooster emoji and the cocaine bot emoji. Shout to you, my jit. Much love.
These fools. They're showing love, dog.
Hey, you know what? Love, hate, interactivity. I appreciate everybody. I'm not like, look, I'm not trying to silence any voices. If you don't fuck with me, don't fuck with what I'm saying, express it. I'm here for it. I'm still trying to get better. I'm learning. I'm improving in this space. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Same. You feel me? And I'm trying to.
Well, right, to put it easy for the people who don't know, who won the race? The hare or the turtle?
Mr. Turtle.
You get what I'm saying? So it's not who crossed,
Although he did never find out how many licks it takes to get to the center
of a lollipop or Tootsie Roll?
A Tootsie Roll, center of a Tootsie Pop.
Damn.
Oh, man.
But
Tootsie Pop. You know what I'm saying?
With that being said, for all your sexual enhancement needs, if you want her to lick up on your Tootsie Pop and it to have extra girth, definition, strength, and fortitude, go to royaltyhoneyyusa.com. Cop you them honey packs. Discount code LUSHUNO, all caps, one word, and voila! Look at the results.
You bring any, bro? I need to use some, bro.
They're actually sending. They're sending to the pop up. We're gonna be getting a package from them for the gang.
I'm gonna see how long I can jack off tonight.
Earlier I didn't want to say.
You gotta be a horny motherfucker.
I didn't want to say
if you're doing that to jerk off.
Earlier when you said you ain't had a girlfriend in 5 years, now I understand why you got calluses on your hands when we shake your hands and shit.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of my shit.
This fool said it feels like a pierced tongue.
I'm beating.
Imagine with the royalty honey, dog. Oh man.
And it works for the ladies too. Like I say, what's the phrase? It'll turn your pool
into an oasis.
Into an oasis. Yeah.
Yay for squirting.
Yeah.
Let's go, squirters. Run it up.
That shit works.
Ladies, if you're watching and you're a squirter, run it up in the comments. Let us know about the squirting.
We could do. Oh, you know what? I would say we could do Collins, but my shit is dead. I was gonna let y'all do Collins, but we will do Collins on another show this week, perhaps tomorrow with Poetic Flacco. We will be live at 7 p.m. and then on Wednesday we're doing a mental health pod. We'll be back with MJ and Active on Thursday.
Salute.
And going up as always. I think Active will be in the building tomorrow as well. Yeah, you a horny motherfucker if you jerking off with a honey pack, though.
I'm curious.
I just can't see taking a honey pack to go beat off at night.
No,
I'm curious, man.
It's actually kind of cool.
I'm curious. You feel me? I got one. I'm gonna give me a little drink. I'm gonna see where it goes.
Two things are gonna happen, right? You're gonna find out how many times you can bust a nut, or you're gonna peel the skin off your shit, homie.
Or both. Whatever
right?
first.
I mean, I got petroleum jelly, so I'll be fine.
Man, can you imagine, bro, walking down the street, fucking MJ's parked, sleeping in his car, and you're walking at night and you see a fucking car shaking and moving from jacking off?
My boy's in his car.
Yeah,
you're gonna catch a case, fool.
Bro, what?
You're gonna catch a case.
Listen, I'm covered. I put t-shirts over the windows. You good?
You go catch a case.
Fucking car shaking. Cop gonna do a wellness check on this fool.
They think somebody's in there with me and just me. Where's the other person?
Who you in there with? It's just me and fucking my hands, dog.
Here she is, right here, officer. Here she is.
Wow.
I'm sorry, guys. With that being, I apologize for that. Yeah. With that being said, yeah, it's lit. We going crazy in the building. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us. All the constituents of Lush World. Do we have any more stories?
Oh man! Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Ralph back there cooking, man.
By the way, AD would beat the shit out of OGZ if they fought. So even though he was kind of getting at him sideways, and I feel like AD wasn't feeling it.
Okay.
He would beat the shit out of him.
You gotta admire OGZ's confidence, bro. You gotta.
I don't blame him.
Because look, T-Rail's a cool ass nigga. It's hard to really if T-Rail talking to it, you can just the nigga's who he is, right? So the fact that he's sitting there like, oh yeah. The fact that he's holding himself like his posture and everything.
That's not a conversation that should be had on the air. And there's a chance he might actually want to give AD a free verse or work together with him like that.
The fact that he was able to.
When you're saying that on the air, he can't be like, oh yeah, I'll shoot you a verse when he's already quoted other artists of a similar caliber a bag. You can't do that.
Potting.
That's fucking off game.
Potting. That's my point.
Yes.
That's my point. You gotta. My bad.
Well, go ahead.
No, that's my point. When we're talking about being great in this shit, if he's already telling people that he has a reputation, you as a podcaster and understanding the space and chasing #1 greatness, you have to understand that an artist's reputation is everything to them.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the know-how and calling yourself #1, no. Let's get back to the drawing board because we all need to get back to the drawing board and get better. So you're telling me that, nah, man.
With that being said, apparently Jamie Foxx has had a turnaround in his health and he's doing a little bit better. That's good to hear, correct?
That shit's scary, bro. Jamie's he's like one of my favorite people, talented in all aspects of life.
Jamie is a treasure. He's got to be in the conversation for most talented human being in the world.
Sure. For sure. What the fuck can't do? Like,
yeah.
Thing, oh man. But yeah, man, some medical, like his shit's not even giving us no medical terms. They're just saying in condition, good condition, stable condition, life-threatening condition.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're not even getting any fucking clarity is pretty crazy. That must mean some shit's going on. So hopefully prayers up for Jamie Foxx, one of the greatest just one of the greatest talents to walk this earth.
I mean, from being a musician to singing to songwriting, dancing, acting, comedy, he runs the gamut.
He conquered everything.
Yeah, there's not too many people winning a Grammy, winning an Oscar, you know what I mean? Like he's everywhere. They never there. With that being said, do we got anything else? My phone is dead. Is there any other cool rap topics?
Let me see.
Yeah, we went late today because.
Why don't you give your phone to Ralph and let him charge it?
Oh yeah, we can charge this. We always gonna be at 8 p.m. We went late today, started at 8:30, but we're always gonna be Monday at 8 p.m. I think we hit every topic.
Yeah, it's everything.
So,
well, since you guys were talking about JD, I guess there was a video that went out with Little Bow Wow finally making peace. I guess they hadn't talked for like 2+ years, and they finally, I guess Little Bow Wow said that he'd follow JD on Instagram or some weird shit.
Okay, that's good.
I mean,
that's good.
They rich at the end of the day. I don't think JD fucked him out of a bag anyway. So
I did find it was interesting seeing Bow Wow saying he was never officially signed to So Def.
He was like 10 years old. You just pushing him around, bro.
It's just crazy. Well, he wound up, I think, getting the deal. I think he was with Capital. I think he signed with L.A. Reid or something like that. What was it? LaFace, I think he wound up signing with. Not So Def, but it was still under Jermaine Dupri's tutelage. It's just like the dynamic really interested me of that. With that being said, regardless, this has been a dope ass live. I think we've been out live for damn near 3 hours in this bitch.
Hell yeah, man.
That being said, all my constituents of Lush World, like, share, subscribe. Be good to yourselves.
Yes, sir.
Do the most. You feel me? And keep it lit up in this thing.
Yeah.
Brother Rick, thank you for joining us. You were very insightful.
It was an honor.
Yeah, you're going to be back. MJ definitely going to be back.
Salute.
Like I said, tomorrow we live with Poetic Flacco. Wednesday, Mental Health Pod. Thursday, back with MJ and Active.
We back in here.
Another installment of the news. And Lush World, from our world to your world and back. We about this biatch.
Out of here.
Stay tuned.
Out of here.